From downtown, this is Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, how does your head feel after using the Virtual Boy for a couple days? And we got another Nintendo Direct in the form of a Sony State of Play, and Yakuza Kiwami 3. Great game.
Apple is king. All other fruit juice is the devil's piss.
We're all seeing red.
Wasn't that a line from an Alkaline Trio song? Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 508. Your place to hear Nintendo fans talk about our new cardboard, plastic headsets, red, 3D, whatever, plus Nintendo announcements and other directs. We are your hosts. I'm Trey, pacifist veteran Dad Johnson.
I'm Jeremy, nasal imprint 3D Mikowski.
I'm John, unreal young man knitter.
So, yeah, let's start off the show as we normally do and talk about games that we got and games that we've been playing. We did a little preview thing for free on the YouTubes of us, of our first impressions of the Virtual Boy headsets, which we all have, but we had not had that much time to mess around with it. So I imagine you guys have all played it, right?
Yeah, so I didn't play much more than what I did on Monday when we recorded that. So I still got to have some time to sink in and really get into it. But I do have some stuff to say.
So you failed the homework assignment. No,
a little bit.
But yeah, no. What does everybody think? That's what we're starting off with here. What are your thoughts on it? I played it right after we recorded on Monday. We did a Patreon episode, patreon.com/NintenDomain Podcast, and I played. What was it? I played Red Alarm probably for the longest because I never really had that game, and that's that's kind of like a Star Fox game, sort of. It's like a 3D space game.
Wireframe, yeah.
And I have it, but I think I might have gotten it after. I feel like that was one of the last games I bought, and I bought it at some video game store for really cheap later. But yeah, I have Red Alarm. Red Alarm's pretty sweet.
Maybe we could also say our current Virtual Boy library. That'd be interesting to know. I just have Mario's Tennis. That's it.
I'll have to I have them.
Oh, the ones that we own?
That we actually own.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Back here in my.
Yeah, I'd have to find mine.
I have this. I have a tackle box full of all my Game Boy and all my portable games.
Yeah, I'll have to find them. I think they're kind of spread out. They're probably, last time I saw them, they were in the drawers of some of my dressers or whatever. But I mean, in the move, who knows where they ended up at?
Sure. I remember playing at your house, Trey, Mario Clash, Nestor's Funky Bowling, Tellero Boxer.
I definitely did not have Nestor's Funky
I've never played Mario Clash.
And I don't think I have Mario Clash either, so you're mistaking me with somebody else. It wasn't here.
Played it with someone else, yeah.
I bought, when I got my Virtual Boy, I bought it at a used game place in Wisconsin while I was working on a movie in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And I got mine for $40 with 4 games, which I thought was a pretty solid deal.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, for when the fuck was that?
It was a while after
2006 or something, or 7.
Okay, yeah,
whenever I worked there.
It got real popular.
It was whenever you got married, John. Because I remember you asked me to be in it, and I was booked for a month, for 2 months or whatever on this fucking stupid World War II movie. But it was, at the time, it was, I was happy to be on something. I never saw the finished product of that, but it's floating around somewhere. That movie was.
I have Vertical Force. I have Tellero Boxer, Pinball, or the Galaxy. I have a lot of games. I just don't have. Yeah, I don't have Mario Clash. I'm gonna play
Did you find them? Yeah. Oh,
I do have Nestor's
box
Funky
there?
Bowling. Oh, I could go look them up. Yeah.
I would say I don't think I have Nestor's Funky Bowling. Like I remember playing it. My friend Lauren had it, and I remember playing his copy of it. But I don't think that I ever had it. I thought that I had. I'm pretty sure I had Galactic Pinball. I think I had Vertical Force and not Red Alarm, the one that's like the top-down, shoot 'em up thing. Yeah. I think I have Wario Land.
I think you do too. I think I tried
probably
Wario
Teller
Land,
and probably Tellero Boxer.
I know you had Teller
because I had like four games. I was gonna say I could go on the other side of this wall and see what games in the Virtual Boy, and that would be one that I'd know for sure that I have.
Yeah, I don't know why I never got any other games besides Mario's Tennis.
I do have I have a couple. I would say I don't know if they're in here. No, I think
Galactic Pinball.
These are all Game Gear games.
There's Galactic
Vertical
Pinball.
Force, Tellero Boxer, Wario Land,
Nice.
Red Alarm, Mario Tennis, Nestor's Funky Bowling.
There it is.
Nice.
Another copy of Mario Tennis. For some reason, I have 2 copies of Mario Tennis.
Is it Mario Tennis or Mario's Tennis?
Mario's Tennis apostrophe S. I thought I had more, but no, this has got to be all of them.
All right,
maybe one of them's in my system.
I found one.
And
it's Vertical Force.
Yeah.
I have this like bucket of Game Gear games and cases for Game Boy games over here, and that has one. There's one game I found in there, and it's Vertical Force for Virtual Boy. So there you go. But I think I have Mario Tennis. Like I do remember owning that. So
wasn't that the back end?
Well, I mean, I bought mine from a used store, so it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting about it is that
did it have a back end?
It was a pack in, and it was it was Mario Tennis, and the pack in was a 2-player game. It had a 2-player mode, but when they released the Virtual Boy, basically they were like, well, the coming soon link cable, and the link cable never came out.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that on the Slack. So do you think that we'll get we'll get online 2-player like through the
I hope so.
app? I mean, why not, right?
Cool.
If it was already in there, just they never released the link.
I guess one thing people were doing was, and this is something I remember reading like on the internet way back when, so who knows if it's true, but supposedly people are taking like, you take 2 controllers, so there's not a whole lot of those either, but you take 2 of the controllers and you snap the cords off, and then you put the cords together, so it's 2 male ends or whatever. And then it's a link cable, supposedly.
Oh.
But obviously I never went through all that trouble to try it out, and I just think the thought of playing online with someone with the Virtual Boy would be fucking hilarious. That's why
I love it.
Say we'll have to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be fun necessarily, but it's going to be like we're really there with each other.
The thing that sucks is we can't capture it in any way, because there's no way
you can do a screenshot, but you can't do a video.
Yeah, you can't do a video, but only screenshots. Yeah, and also
I've thought about like trying to like put the screenshot to like some kind of image editor and try to fix it, but I don't know. I might try it at some point.
Do you think at some point in the future they're just gonna be like, all right, enough of you bought these like headsets. We'll just give you a 2D version of Virtual Boy to play on the MSO.
I do because they're like planning on updating it with other options. So I think that'll be one of them. Like right now, the only options they talk about are different color palettes, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that at some point.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe once all the games are released or something, you would want to at least have, I don't know. You don't want to piss the people off that bought this set.
Yeah.
Right. It would be a good sales tactic to get people to try the thing. Right now, there's a bunch of people who don't have either of these, and they're saying, "Oh, I can't play that thing," even though you kind of can. But like, just to like draw those people in. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I want to see what it really looks like. Yeah, I'll buy the headset now. That's a pretty good sales tactic, I think.
I'll tell you that the weirdest thing about the Virtual Boy, and I realized. Well, so for one thing, did you realize you can change like the size and stuff of the screen?
No. Oh, in the options for the Switch one?
You can do it while you're playing. Like I think you click in the right stick. I think that's what it is. And that allows you to do basically that little slider that was at the top. It lets you do that to like change your focal length, which can make it like sharper if you're having trouble seeing it. And then there's another, and then there's a second option where you can actually increase the size of the screen. And so I made the screen bigger.
Oh, okay. It already felt really big. Like,
yeah, you can make it bigger.
Oh, because I already thought it was rather large.
I got it to where it was like taking up most of the field of view, and it really, my eyes started hurting really fast.
Oh, you have to like press the thumbstick in and
tilt it at the same time. And then it kind of like it's almost like a TV where it brings up like a small little menu that you adjust, and then it moves to the next menu, or it lets you choose, like I said, whatever the focal length thing is called, and then screen size.
When we did our like preview thing or whatever, we had only played the Japanese version because that had come out early, you know. And when I started up the English one, it started with that, you know, with the focus mode or whatever, where you press like left or right in case it doesn't look crisp to you.
It did that in the Japanese mode too, but I didn't understand what it was asking me.
Oh yeah, it was probably there. Same.
Because it shows an image from Mario Tennis to like.
It's Mario Tennis. So I
thought I was like, I didn't boot up this game. I thought the game was booting up.
Yeah, I did understand what it was after. But yeah, you can adjust
the Japanese version had Mario's Tennis in it already.
Is that like the same thing? So is that like the same thing that you would do from clicking in the sticks then?
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing?
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was kind of funny. It kind of struck me as, this is like a updated Virtual Boy. Because I was playing some game and then I saw a little notification popped up that Jar was online.
Like, right.
That kind of broke my brain. Like my Virtual Boy is online.
Yeah. That was one of the weird things. I was going to say the other really weird thing to me is when you pull up like the options menu and it looks like all the other options menus for all the other virtual console. It just feels strange seeing it. Yeah, it feels strange seeing it on the virtual. Like you feel like you're playing Virtual Boy for real, and then you see this thing that's obviously from the Switch menu.
It's like an intrusion.
And I also found the part that you thought was saying that they were going to come out with an NSO controller. I found that. Yep. That's in the menu. Just go and change it. Just go to change your controls, and that's where that is.
I still think it's in the cards.
Is there an option in the menu that makes it look like there's two D-pads or something?
No, like when you go into the options, if you check, because a lot of these games, I have no idea what the buttons do or where they are or whatever. So if you go into the menu and you go to like change controls, it'll show you like what buttons do what. And if you go to change it from there, it'll show you the Virtual Boy controller and where the buttons were that did things and how they relate to whatever controller you're using, which was what was in the video that we saw from the trailer.
My argument for concluding that they're going to do the Virtual Boy controller is, they put that in there, but for who? For the small portion of people who bought the Virtual Boy 30 years ago and are so stuck on the controls still that they'll remember, oh yeah, that's this button, that.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it makes any sense.
The controls
eventually put the controller out.
The Virtual Boy controls are confusing. Like if you don't,
like, I mean, it's a weird, like you need controller.
Like say me being whatever that percentage is, I had to look at it and be like, okay, where the fuck were these buttons are? What the fuck are you supposed to do? Where, you know, like, because I don't know. Like I don't know that pressing the second control pad makes you like shadow dodge in Red Alarm. I played the game for like 30 minutes before I figured that out because they don't tell you that at all. But if you look at the controls, you'll find out. But so I recommend that everybody does that. Goes and looks at what the controls are and look at where they were on the Virtual Boy, so you understand what the fuck is going on. Because the Virtual Boy was always a confusing controller to me. You know, I mean, 2 D-pads, like 2 ABs, like what the hell. But I did see like a thumbnail of like Game Explain saying that the 64 controller works pretty well because the C buttons, you can use the C buttons, which are similar to the control pad. So I actually was planning on trying it out today. I just didn't get around to it. But it has
kind of a similar feel too with the two, like you hold the two handles.
So I did like charge my 64 controller because I haven't used it in a while, and I was like, oh, I got to do that, but I just didn't get around to doing it before we recorded. But I really want to try it out because it does make sense to me because I was trying to do the double D-pad thing with the analog stick, and it's weird. I mean, everything in this game is weird. Like everything in Virtual Boy is weird, I think, trying to play this, but
it's such an anomaly. It's so weird. And it's so weird to think that it's 31 years old.
Yeah.
So old, yeah. And only was around for a year and has all these like untapped features, like the cord and all that.
Like the game.
My big hope for this is that they are taking this as an opportunity to like fill in all the blanks and do what could have been. Like, okay, we already know we're getting the 2 games that were unreleased, right?
Yeah.
What are the chances you think that those are the only 2 unreleased Virtual Boy games kicking around in their vaults? I think slim to none. I think there's at least 5, let's say, be conservative, 5 unreleased Virtual Boy games. And I think that's
maybe
so cool.
I think that's more like saying there's a lot. I mean, if they be conservative, it would probably be like 2 that are unreleased.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think there's more than just the 2 that they're putting out. Like, maybe. And I think that'd be cool. Like some, months down the road, when we all kind of have moved on. Oh yeah, here's another unreleased Virtual Boy game. Awesome. Like
here's Ice Climbers 3D, which you always wanted, with really, really bad jumping, but in 3D and red.
What I really want is for somebody to do a because there's no way I'd ever get to play this, but there was a homebrew community for the Virtual Boy that existed. I mean, I'm sure it exists to some extent still, but way back in the day, early emulation, like people had figured out how to plug the Virtual Boy into the computer or whatever, and people were making like homebrew games and stuff. So how cool would it be on the eShop if someone released like a compilation of homebrew games or something for the Virtual Boy, and it just worked with the accessory that already exists. I mean, that's a long shot, but that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool. So what would stand in the way? I mean, like, do you think Nintendo would like say, "Nah, the Virtual Boy thing is just for us. You can't do the."
I think them putting it in the service the way they did really kind of covers their ass, because they can do whatever they want with it at this point. Like, they can just not pay attention anymore to it. And I guess they're gonna piss off the people about the accessory, but it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, when's the last time they released a Sega game?
In a while, yeah.
It was like a month ago. I think they dropped something, but I don't know. They still like trickle them out, but yeah, not as often. I mean, it's. I think they just want you to feel the same way again if you bought like Virtual Boy when it first came out, right? and then they destroyed it after that. It's the same thing. You pay like $100 for a thing, and then it's like, here's what you got. You got it for this.
I will say once
Virtual Boy experience.
Yeah. I was trying to get into Wario Land, and I actually played kind of far into it. Like, I played into like the 4th level.
Oh yeah, I played through the first level, and that was about it.
And I was using the features so I could like get through the boss and stuff without having to like go through all the like animations and stuff. They have to wait to fight the boss each time or whatever.
Oh, you mean like rewind?
Yeah, I used rewind. I used save state and all that crap.
Oh, you did save state. I did do rewind, but I didn't. Well, I just save stated before I quit or whatever.
Eventually I was like, oh shit, that's what I should be doing. There's the constant save stating is not important when you have the rewind feature. But anyway, I was getting pretty far into it, but it was the first time I've ever played Virtual Boy where I was like, this really hurts. Like, my eyes were hurting, and then especially my nose where it was resting, because I was laying on my back. And so I picked it up and I did the thing, like just holding it up to my face while I've got the controller. Yeah. And that's not so bad for limited periods of time if you kind of crouch down like you're sitting on a toilet and rest your elbows on your hands. Like, you can do that for a little while, but
you can
anything more than a couple minutes in this gets really uncomfortable pretty quick, and that makes me sad, but I guess it's authentic.
Yeah, I played it for a while, and I was starting to just like, I was like, this is cool, but I'm starting to feel a headache coming on, and I was playing it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play Yakuza. That's nicer. It doesn't make my head hurt.
I want to ask a fellow glasses wearer. Can you wear glasses with Virtual Boy? Because I kind of think it's better without.
What do you mean? Would you rather everything was blurry?
Well, I mean, I just find it's a little bit more like.
Can you see? Can you see? Like, if I put, I haven't tried it, but if I took my glasses off, and I would not be able to see anything. I have terrible eyesight.
Yes, yeah, that's different per person, sure. I have a little bit wider frames, so I feel like they're kind of bumping around in there. It doesn't feel like a good fit.
Oh, yeah, no, I never had any problems with getting my glasses in here. And I did use I used the Switch 1 that I have. I used it with the Labo headset just to make sure that it works, and yeah, it works great. No problems there. That must have been some confusion and miscommunication there or something, because there's no reason why the original Labo headset would not work with this, because it works fine. And I got in on my because I was like, my profile was there, but it wasn't updated, so I got in on my phone and scanned a QR code or whatever and logged in, and then I started up Virtual Boy, and it's like, oh, do you want to upload your saves? So it automatically brought all my stuff from Switch 2 to Switch 1, like all of my save states and all that. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And there they were. And I played it a little bit on Switch 1, and then I played it on Switch 2, and Switch 2 was like, oh, hey, you want to bring your save states over from Switch 1? And it just updated
I didn't know you could do that
automatically. So if you want to, if you want to use your Switch 1, it's like a smaller, like, handheld thing. At least for Virtual Boy, it seems to work pretty well. I mean,
cool.
I think it gets more complicated for games that you buy, but for like Nintendo Switch Online, it seems like you don't have to, do the whole like swap virtual cart thing, which you do have to do, now for if you have multiple systems. But it was pretty easy, and I popped it on, and I was like, oh yeah, it looks great. It really doesn't look. I really didn't think it looked that much different than the Switch 2 one. I mean, I couldn't really. Yeah, it just felt lighter, which was probably better, But
I imagine resolution's not as important to something like this.
Not for I mean, it's just like red lines. Like for me, I thought it looked the same, but it didn't hurt as much because it was lighter also. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But yeah, I was having the same problems that Jeremy was saying. Like my nose was hurting because I put straps on mine that I used the same ones that I used on my Labo, on my original Labo, and they work fine. It's just the Switch 2 is heavier, so it like. I can feel it like, pulling down on my nose big time. So it's kind of like, and I've been, I kind of like tilt my head back a little bit, so it doesn't pull as much, but I still feel it like wearing down on me. And I'm like, oh yeah, this doesn't feel great. But if you get a reclining chair, like, put your legs back and just kind of kick your head back, it doesn't hurt as much. I did that on our couch upstairs because you can put it farther back and just kind of lean it a little bit and it won't be.
I had an idea,
painful.
but I've broken, like, I've had like two of the try one thingies and I've broken both of them. But
oh yeah,
the way this is, like, if you take the Joy-Cons off, the Switch is sticking out of both sides. So I kind of wonder if you couldn't clip the
if you could like
try one onto it. And then
good.
basically, like have an assisted, have it like kind of held in place so you can sort of lean into it and not have to have it pressing down on your face.
I'll try that. I'll try that when I ride my bike tomorrow. Let's see if see how well that works.
I was gonna say maybe do it with your Switch 1 if that's
because that's where my Try One lives is on my exercise bike now, because it just holds my my tablet and I watch wrestling on there.
You could always take your actual Virtual Boy stand and like take your real Virtual Boy off and put your cardboard thing on there. Try to attach
it to the cardboard thing.
I don't think so. Plus, both of my Virtual Boy stands broke.
Oh.
That plastic hinge part in the middle like breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine broke too.
I'll try the toilet method that Jeremy said, like
it works.
Try to secure my elbows under something. So yeah, but yeah, no, but we've all played it. Have we all gotten headaches from it somewhat or some
a little bit
discomfort? Definitely.
Have you removed the lens on there, John? Have you taken the red lens out?
I've not tried that yet, no.
I'd be curious to see what difference there is, if there is really. Because, I mean, I'm playing it without one, and it's still it's hella red. It's definitely very red. I don't know how much redder it could make it with the lens, but
I heard somewhere that they don't want you to remove it, or that
if they didn't want you to remove it, they shouldn't have put it out in a video saying that you should remove it whenever they add the new colors. Because it was in the trailer. Nintendo made themselves. It said, hey, remove your thing so you can see different colors when we add that update. It's in the video. So it shows you, it advises people to do that from the company. So,
all right. Well, I heard wrong. I should mention, I mean, because we talked about it on the YouTube video, but maybe people are listening and haven't seen it yet.
Sure.
I just want to mention quickly that since I got the fancy one, I think they did a fantastic job of replicating it. Like, there's only a few minor differences. Like, I mentioned on the other video the hinge or whatever, the thing that actually attaches to the stand, slightly different. Well, the knob is on the other side. One other thing I noticed today is, like, on the real Virtual Boy, here's the real one. This is red and black, right? the top when you're looking into the eyepiece.
Right.
The top is red, bottom is black. The new one, it's all black on that visor, on that eyepiece, just like that. I'm kind of like, why didn't you just go for it and do red and black? That kind of doesn't make any sense to me.
So wait, is that? Well, that's with the visor. Like, is it red and black behind that visor piece if you take it off?
Yeah, move it. See how easy it is to move.
Well, I'm talking about this part here.
Yeah.
On the real Virtual Boy, the top is red. Right here.
Okay.
The bottom is black. And I just don't know why they didn't just go
I'm
ahead
just wondering if it's not covered by the visor, and that's why. Because the other one, you didn't have the visor on it. Okay.
Yep. Well,
I think most people wouldn't notice.
Is there any, I don't know, is there any games that you guys really like? Like, I thought about doing like a, ranking like 1 to 8 or 1 to 5 or however many are on there, but I don't think I played enough to do that. I think the one I liked the most was Red Alarm, I guess, because I hadn't really played it. But one thing I wanted to say that is pretty funny about it is it keeps like saying what it is over and over again while you play it. It says T&E Soft presents Red Alarm, or T&E Soft presents
that voice,
Virtual Boys Red Alarm. No, it's not a voice. It's on the screen. It's font that appears in front of your eyes, and it just keeps doing this over and over and over again while you're playing the game. And it's like, why are they doing this? Like, I know what the game is. Like, it's do it once, but don't do it like 20 times while I'm trying to fight a boss. Like, it's annoying.
Oh, that's annoying, yeah.
So I was like, why? I was like, oh yeah, they really want you to know what this game is. It's like, just do it one time. We don't need to keep doing it. But yeah, it'll appear in your vision over and over and over again. I was like, oh well, that's annoying. Was that originally in there? Obviously,
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and T&E Soft did most of these. I always thought about that as being my nickname too, or middle name. T&E Soft, because they did the golf.
Who are they? What did they do?
They did the golf game. Also, they did the Virtual Boy games that are on here.
I mean, besides that, like did they go down in flames with the Virtual Boy or what?
Oh, I recognize the name. I'm sure they did other things. Yeah, Red Alarm was probably the one I liked the most, I guess, because I didn't play it. I hadn't really played it much before. And I tried golf, but golf is really hard to figure out where you're supposed to hit it for distance. They don't really tell you anything like that. So I found that difficult. I'm like, do I hit it all the way at the top of the curve, or like the line before the top of the curve? Like it really does not like explain where you need to hit things.
I think it's fascinating to see a kind of FMV person in the golf game, like in a Virtual Boy.
I like the way it looks. It's just like, you got to have something. You got to tell me something here. Like in the Mario Golf games, it'll be like, all right, so like this power meter is like 100 meters if you get it all the way at the end. So you got to like, all right, well, this is 20, so I'll do it less. Like, it's really hard to figure out how to hit it right,
you're right,
because it doesn't tell you where is the top. And some of them, if you go past the top, won't go the right way. Like it's no explanation there at all. It's just like, figure it out.
Yeah, when I was putting, and it was kind of a guess, and I overshot it a few times.
Oh yeah, putting is real hard too, because like I said, it doesn't tell you what the full distance is of the power, and you just gotta guess. And
I'm definitely not a fan of like when it has you hit the spot on the ball itself, the way it kind of like the way it moves around.
Oh yeah, over the Nintendo.
It doesn't feel very intuitive. Yeah,
it takes a while to do it too, and it's like,
I think like a concentric circle or something like that was getting bigger and smaller would work better, or maybe you just move it to where you wanted to hit it, but the thing just kind of like scanning it, and you gotta stop on the right spot on the ball.
This is just not really analogous to even how like actual golf is played. Like you're not like thinking about what position on the ball, am I hitting it dead center necessarily?
Well, you do.
Like, you're just kind of like,
I guess when you get into the more pro stuff, because like the Mario Golf games, there were like parts where if you hit the ball in different spots, like the shot will move, depending on where you hit it at, kind of like you would in pool or whatever. But I mean, the way they do it on this doesn't work well at all. Like in that one, I think you would just move this. You just move the C stick for the GameCube one if you want to hit it in a different spot to try to curve it differently, which that was always cool. But this one is just annoying. They should have just went with just the tried and true, power straightness. Just hit A twice. They've done that in a million golf games. Just do it like that. So
I just meant like it's kind of. It seems a little bit more granular to put that little zigzag thing on there. It's just like you kind of intuit where you're hitting on the ball, and it's not a good representation of it.
Yeah. And it goes like up through the middle of the ball first. And I was like, if you hit A like quicker, can you not make it? That would not wait for it to scan the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. But yeah, no, it's really hard to figure out how far you're going to hit it. And I went through a couple holes and it's fun enough, but I'm getting like, +3 bogeys or +4, +3, like I'm doing terrible here because like I said, I don't really know how to play and it doesn't really tell you. And I've played a lot of golf games, but this one is extra confusing.
I want to tell you the one that my mom liked a lot.
Your mom played it?
My mom played it, yeah.
You're like, hey, Mom, check out this $100 thing that I got. It's
so I was
totally not a waste of money.
I was staying at my parents' house this week because my dad's out of town, and my mom just wanted someone to stay with her. So
yeah, your dad's gone, so your mom can you and your mom can stay up and play Virtual Boy all night.
That's pretty much the plan, right? So that's what happened. It was great.
It's only when Dad's out of town that you can do that. You guys can order pizza and have beers and play Virtual Boy.
Well, we kind of had a day. Like we went out to the movies and swung by my apartment to pick up the Virtual Boy, and then when I got it back home, she was kind of curious about what it was that I had. And so I was telling her about the history of it. And, Nintendo had this great failure system, 30 years ago, blah blah blah. And after I set it up, and she wanted to try it, so I thought she would play it for just 5 minutes or whatever. It was kind of funny because I set it up and plugged her in there, and then I actually got a call and I had to step away. And I kind of figured that by the time I was done with the call, half hour later, that she had moved on. But I came back downstairs and she was still plugged into the Virtual Boy, and she was enjoying 3D Tetris. She liked it.
Oh yeah, I saw some people online liking that game. I thought it was slow as slow.
I did not understand it.
It was incredibly slow. Like I played it and I was like, wow, this game is so boring.
It is kind of like,
but the song's kind of cool.
Yeah, like you think Tetris, you think like, okay, starts slow, but eventually you're going to get to that point where it's really speeding up and going fast.
Yeah, but you can still press down for the block to go faster, and you can hit one of the top L or R buttons to do that, but it still feels like it's moving through like some sort of mud or whatever. It seems very, very slow.
Doesn't feel like it's ever going to get to the point where it's just blah, 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 heart racing kind of Tetris that we all know and love.
I should try turning up the difficulty and see if it will. Like, see if I can speed it up and make it less, make it not put me to sleep like like it did. I was like, oh yeah, I'll put this on. I'll fall asleep to this every night. So there was that one. I played the Mansion of Innsmouth like a little bit, but I had no idea what was going on. And they only give you like a minute, so it's pretty quick. Like it took me a minute to figure out that I have to move the reticule or that I can actually move the reticle. Once again, look at the controls in there. It will help you. Look at the controls for the Virtual Boy controller. It'll tell you how to do it. But yeah, I kind of played it a little bit, and I got the password rope, which means nothing, but that was the first password you could do on there. But yeah, it looks coolish, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. I played pinball a little bit, but not for long. I played it before on the Japanese one, but I do like those games. What else is on there?
Yeah, you talked about Red Alarm. What else? Mario's Tennis. How about that?
It's not on there.
Well,
it's not.
No, you didn't. No, yeah, it's not on there yet. Never mind.
No, it was none of us played.
Tellero Boxer? Did you play that at all?
I didn't play Tellero Boxer. No,
I like Tellero Boxer, and Tellero Boxer is a good game.
That's one of the ones that I probably needed to look at the controls because I was not vibing with the controls.
I definitely remember playing that on my Virtual Boy and being very confused by it. Like, and I was never good. I know it's like it's supposed to kind of be like Punch Out, but I felt like there was too many controls and you had to push too much to dodge. Like it's not just like one thing. I think you have to press both of the D-pads to dodge or something like that. I didn't like the way it played when I played it on my old Virtual Boy.
It's one of the few Virtual Boy games that is actually from the first-person perspective, which
the Innsmouth one is.
There's that one, yeah. Like, most of them seem to have not really leaned into the virtual reality part of virtual reality. And like going from the first person perspective is the right move. I kind of wanted to see more games like Tellero Boxer from the Virtual Boy, but yeah, not too many like that. I like when you get knocked out and your screen fizzles out. I think that's cool
really
effect. Yeah, like as if you're a robot and you just went blank. That's cool.
Sure.
I think I'm still just like I think I just was enjoying Wario and the pinball game, and everything else just kind of feels like a novelty for the moment. Well, it all feels like a novelty, but
yeah.
I think Wario, I never played all the way through that, so that's my goal. I want to beat that game, and I will use all the cheats.
Yeah, so we got 7 games starting off here, and I think we've talked about all of them. Galactic Pinball, Teleroboxer, Red Alarm, Wario Land, 3D Tetris, Golf, and the Mansion of Innsmouth.
So I was reminded when Jeremy just said about Wario Land that actually there was a Mario game shown. Yeah, I think it was CES. It was there's footage of it out there. You can watch the footage
95.
on YouTube. Yeah, and so like that's one of the games. Like, was that a real game that they were cooking up? I'm sure it was. You know, it's
supposedly Wario Land was originally supposed to be a Mario game. I know that. It was originally going to be a 2D game before they made it. It was originally going to be 2D Mario before they decided that Wario would fit better for the idea.
Well, it's like that was 1995. It might be the same game. I think it's more likely that it was 2 separate games because the Mario game was shown off in 1995, the same year that the Virtual Boy released and that Wario Land actually came out. So I think there might be a Mario game kicking around somewhere over there that, maybe it's half finished or whatever, but, wouldn't that be cool if somebody finished it and put it out? Like, there's possibilities here for the Virtual Boy, and I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see them bring it to its full fruition.
Sure. For sure. Oh, show. Yeah, I mean, it's I want to play around with it a little bit more with the 64 controller, but yeah, I don't know. It looks nice, I guess. It feels like it's like 1998 all over again, or 99, or whenever I played Jeremy's Virtual Boy the first time.
Probably 2000.
College. You think it was 2000? Oh yeah, probably.
That's when I started college.
Yeah, but you did. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't have. Yeah, except I met you in '99 because you would come and hang out with Mark.
Yeah, but I probably didn't bring my Virtual Boy.
Probably not. Yeah.
But when I moved to college, I had everything I owned with me there, so I definitely had my Virtual Boy once I moved.
Mm-hmm. Well, anything else you want to say about Virtual Boy, or can we move on?
I've never moved past Virtual Boy, even though they gave it to us. I still want more.
One thing interesting I actually have seen around the internet is you can actually buy like a 3D headset for the Switch 2 that's only like a couple dollars more than the cardboard thing that we got with like a proper head strap on it.
Oh, okay.
That works for Switch 2, and it is the exact same technology that you have for Labo, except it's not made out of cardboard. It's it's like plastic or rubber or whatever. But I saw pictures of people using them, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then I looked on Amazon, and there's a bunch of them. They're like pretty much just regular headsets with straps and all that, and it says Switch 2 VR headset. It's got the same like lenses and all that this does. You can buy them for like $27 and wear it on your head comfortably without without having to hold it or whatever. So it already exists out there, and I was like, oh shit. Well, I mean, I still wanted the cardboard anyway, but I could have like just bought that and maybe been more comfortable wearing this, I guess, other than my own creation here. But yeah, they do exist out there. So if anybody wanted to ever do more VR stuff in Switch, there's already stuff out there. I mean, because I think the ones that they already have is like, of course, Labo VR and like Captain Toad and Mario Odyssey had some stuff, and Smash Brothers and Breath of the Wild, which I did. We talked about that on our other thing, but I did play Breath of the Wild. I watched some of the videos, the Labo VR videos that were on there for the Labo game. And they're, still there. It's still weird. So there you go. I think we're good to move on from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could talk about, the only other thing I've been playing is Yakuza Kiwami 3, which came out last week. Actually, I did play, I played Subnautica a little bit because the Switch 2 update is out for it. It came out like 2 nights ago. So I played around with that. I just kind of went to my habitats that I had made and just walked around and saw what they were like because I haven't played that game in a while. And I do notice a difference. It looks better now. I watched a comparison video of it, and it looks pretty good. It's still Subnautica. I really like that game, but I still do not know where to go. And that's kind of why I stopped playing it, because there was sort of like a direction, you would find like those files that would kind of tell you like where to go, but I ended up at a spot where I just didn't know where to go. And there was a spot that I could explore, but there was a big monster that would eat me every time I went there. And maybe that's where I'm supposed to go and not get eaten. But I was tired of losing my ships there, or my whatever transports. But no, it looks good. It does look a lot better than it did before. So you already have it, Jeremy. So I recommend downloading it and giving it a look. You can go back and look at your own habitats and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've tried getting back into that game. It's so daunting to think of even getting back into it.
Just walk around and just find your habitats like I did. Like I actually had a lot of stuff set up. Like I got an aquarium that has fish in it that I can just pull them out and cook them and eat them, so, and they kind of like reproduce themselves. And I got a lot of plants, those big plants planted around, and water fountains and stuff like that. So I did set up a lot of things, so I don't have to worry about. And I like upgraded my oxygen in my suit. I played this game. It said I played it for 25 hours, but there was a while there where I was streaming every week. I was streaming Subnautica and the first Megami Tensei game like once a week, like on 2 days, like back in 2020 when we all had a lot of time. Like I would stream that every week. So I put a good amount of time into it. I remember that before like all the jobs came back around, but I did play a good amount of it. But it looks good now. I also played a little bit of Sonic Racing Crossworlds because II has been added officially from Super Monkey Ball, and he gets a cute little banana car that I put together, and I used the banana car for a while, and I went and I did all the mirror races and got golds on all those because I hadn't really done any of that yet. So I went and did that, and I got golds on everything. And I also you can make custom cars in the game. But I went through like all my custom cars and I made like all the DLC ones, so I would just have them ready to go, so I don't have to piece them together. So I made like because there's a Laika Dragon car, and there's the Werehog one, like the Sonic Werehog one, who else was there? And there was like the Nights into Dreams one that we've gotten, like all the free DLC cars. Like I pieced all those together and just made them ready to go, so I could just jump right to it and just play with it in that way. So yeah, it's still fun. I didn't get on and do any of the competition stuff over the festival stuff over the weekend, just because I just didn't get around to it because I've mostly just been playing Kiwami 3, which is Yakuza Kiwami 3 is very much a celebration of Sega stuff, and I like it because of that. There's their own little NSO in there. There's a Game Gear NSO, basically. So from any of your headquarters that you go to, like there's a couple. I mean, I've mostly been like the games. Like I started playing the game last week. I streamed it, but I only streamed the part in Kamurocho. So the game kind of starts with a Yakuza Kiwami 2.5, which I definitely remember not being in the original game, in the original Yakuza 3. It's basically like, oh hey, let's go and talk to all the people that we were friends with in Yakuza 2, and let's kind of do like a little 2.5, an in-between thing. Like, I'm pretty sure Kiryu's girlfriend doesn't tell him where she's like going. I think she's just not there in 3. She just disappears. But in this one, at the very beginning, you start at the exact same place that you were at the end of Kiwami 2, and she's like, "Well, I got a job in America. I'm going. I'm leaving." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Maybe I'll show up and see you later." I was like, "All right. Well, I guess that's where she went." And then you go and you talk to Majima before you leave, and fight him again on the rooftop, and you go and talk to like all the main people from Kiwami 2 and kind of do like a little send-off thing before you go to Okinawa. And you get your cell phone, which I remember the cell phone being a big part of the original 3, because Kiryu would get inspired to get new fighting moves from like recording people doing silly things around Tokyo with your camera. Like I remember that being a thing. But this one, it's called like Lala Mobile or something like that. But you can basically use it to interact with other people who have the phone too. So you can like scan them, and depending on like how many times you scan them, they'll become like your good friends or your best friends or whatever. But you can unlock like items and stuff from scanning like a certain amount of people in town who have the phone. So there's a whole nother thing on top of it, another mini game thing, which I think why I like these games so much is it's basically like you got your solid story thing, but then 100 different mini games all mixed around. in there. But the Game Gear stuff, you can buy them from the pawn shop, of course. There's a pawn shop you can go to,
cool.
and you can buy your Game Gear games from there. I think you start off with a couple of them at the beginning, but I don't have all of them yet. I think I only got the ones that you can get in Okinawa. I'm sure there's ones that you can get in Kamurocho. I'm actually right at the chapter where I'm about to go back, so I'm sure there's more stuff I can get there. But I played Sonic Chaos. I never played that game before. It's a 2D Sonic Game Gear game, but it's a pretty complete like app inside the game. Like you can do save states, a different save state for each game. You can do rewind. You can change like the size of the screen. There's background options. Like there's all this stuff in there just for this small Game Gear thing. And I think there's like 15 some games that you can get in the game to play within the Yakuza game, which is pretty awesome. So I only have 8 of them so far. I played Sonic Chaos. I played Sonic Drift. I played Columns. Streets of Rage is in there. I played that too. What else? Puyo Puyo, but it's called something different. Let's see, I put it on the notes. Oh yeah, I didn't put what the name was.
It's not Mean Bean Machine?
No. It's not that. It's a different kind of random sounding name. There's Galaga, which just says Galaga 2. There's a Pac-Man game. There's a Fantasy Zone game also. I know you like those games, Jeremy. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool little thing that you can do there. But yeah, no, that's on there. I went to the Sega Arcade, of course, and there's some really cool. There's a lot of cool arcade games on there. There was a game called Magical Truck Adventure, which I guess had like it's supposed to be like, you remember those old cartoons like where you're on the track and you like move the levers up and down like this, and both of you would be on the same card and you would do it like that. And it's a 2-player game, and you would both move it. And you get chased by things, and you have to dodge like to the left and the right, and it's like you're on a track, and you basically control both of them with your 2 analog sticks. But there is a 2-player mode that you can actually play it multiplayer with somebody on the game, and you can actually do that from the menu. Like you can go from the menu and go straight to all of the Sega Arcade games and just play those outright without even going into the Yakuza game. So if you want to just buy the game and play Magical Truck Adventure and Slash Out or the ambulance game or whatever's on there, you can. So
cool.
It's really cool. And yeah, the Magical Truck Adventure is super silly. I like it. Apparently it released for Dreamcast at one point. Like I was just kind of looking into it a little bit. There was a Dreamcast version. But yeah, no, it's a real...
The US too?
I don't know if it came out on the US, but I did see pictures of it on the internet of like weirdest games that came to Dreamcast. Magical Truck Adventure right here. So it did exist. Slash Out it was fun. I actually beat that game. I got to the credits, so I did beat a game this week within another game. But Slash Out is a weird like beat 'em up where you're a character but you're fighting all these different monsters and stuff, and there's super like really big bosses that you fight, and it's cool. I'd never heard of it before, and it looks nice. And you can play all these whenever you want in the arcade. There's a couple other ones in there that I haven't gotten around to playing yet, but it's cool. Also, when you get the cell phone, most of these Yakuza games don't really have a soundtrack when you're just walking around Tokyo. You just hear the sounds of whatever's going on. In this one, you can make a playlist on your cell phone, and you can listen to old Sega songs, and it's awesome. So I got music from, actually not that old. I got music from Persona 3 Reload. I got Metaphor Refantazio. Nice. I got what else did I get? Persona 5. I got stuff from Virtua Fighter on there, like 2 and 5, like newer Virtua Fighter, old Virtua Fighter. I got the theme from Space Harrier. I got that on there that I was listening to. So it's fun. Like I said, it's a celebration of Sega for sure, because you can run around and listen to Sega music while you're fighting people or whatever. And that's a cool. And you can create your own playlist, and there's like a raffle system where if you buy enough things, you get to turn this raffle thing. And if you get the rainbow balls, like those are how you can get like the secret soundtracks. That's how you find like Metaphor Refantazio and Persona 3 and all that stuff is hidden in there. And yeah, you can just play it, and it'll be weird. You'll be walking around in Yakuza, but you feel like you're playing Persona. It's kind of weird to me, but I really like the songs on there. The Metaphor Refantazio song that's on there is the one that has like the it's got like the singing, which is great. So
The battle theme.
Yeah, I know there's the battle theme, but there's some other ones that do that too, right? Because I thought it was a little different. But anyway, regardless, it's awesome. The soundtrack is really good, and it's nice that I can just listen to these other Sega games on this Sega game. But the main thing that I've actually really been enjoying more than anything else, and I haven't really been progressing the story because of it, is the orphanage stuff. So in Yakuza 3, Kiryu moves to Okinawa, and he starts his own orphanage called Morning Glory. And he adopts, he already has Haruka, but he also adopts 8 other children to raise because Kiryu was adopted by the Yakuza, and he was an orphan too. And his girlfriend from Kiwami too, she's also an orphan. Everybody's an orphan in these games. But no, he wants to help kids out because he was helped as, whatever. He didn't, he was raised by the Yakuza, but there were people that helped him out or whatever. Anyway, he wants to help out kids in need. So you have this orphanage, and in the original game, there wasn't really much other than that. Just the story was you have this orphanage. There's like a government person that's trying to overtake that land, trying to kick you out, fight them, keep your shit. But in this one, there's this whole economy to it or whatever. I can imagine it's probably similar to like the Animal Crossing stuff from Infinite Wealth. I don't know. I never really looked into that, but I know you've been playing a lot of it, Jeremy.
Yeah.
But basically, you have a garden in the back. You can grow like various crops and stuff. You can sell the crops too. There's like neighbors that you have around that you can't go to their houses, but you can send them stuff and they'll come and bring you things whenever you complete. Like you can level them up. Like you can level them up a certain amount of levels, and when you max them out, they'll give you like new outfits and like items and special items and stuff like that. But you can grow food in the garden, and you have to like upgrade your soil to grow like more difficult things later. And there's fertilizer you can use that'll actually make the plants grow quicker, like stuff like that. You can buy animals. You can get like chickens and cows, and you'll get like eggs and milk, that you can also sell. But also you can make food for the kids, for the orphans that you have there. And that's its own cooking mini game as well. There's a game where you press different buttons to like crack eggs, like crack a certain amount of eggs. And there's another one where you're cooking you're using like 20 pans at once, and you gotta like move the joystick around to like flip the meat at the right time so it doesn't burn. Like there's some really funny mini game stuff in there. And there's also one where you do a bunch of button presses to cut like vegetables, like onions and whatnot or whatever, and you have to get to a certain point, to clear, and you get these thumbs up icons, and if you get a certain amount of those, that'll like grade how good your food is or whatever. But and it's all like it's its own like story too. Like it'll be like, all right, well this kid wants you to make this, so then you got to gather all the items. Also, there's a fishing mini game that you can do with a pitchfork, which is funny. You're actually like stabbing the water with a pitchfork to like kill the fish in the water and bring them out. And there's different levels of that, and there's bosses at the end. There's like fish with glowing eyes that you have to fight, and if you hit them in the eyes, they stop moving, and you can stun them and all that stuff. And that's on the beach part. But you got to get all your equipment together, all your ingredients for whatever meal, and then you'll make a meal, and then everybody their bond levels will go up like from the meal. You can do that for everybody. But there's a bunch of little mini games that you can do aside from that to raise your bond with each of the kids, and every kid has their own like mini story that's going on. Like one of the kids wants to be a professional wrestler, so you help him get through. He actually does this like kid sumo wrestling thing that you go watch, and he loses, and you have to encourage him to get better, and there's a training sequence and all this stuff. Or like one of the kids wants to be a fashion designer, so you'll like help wear stuff that she makes, or another one wants to be wants to run track or whatever. Like you're encouraging these kids to follow their dreams, and they have their own trauma from being orphans, and they feel like they're not deserving of having dreams, or they don't actually have family, or they get made fun of at school because they're getting raised by the Dragon of Dojima, and maybe they're afraid of him because they know of him being being a Yakuza. And there's one that has like a kid, one of his friends is getting beaten by his dad, and you actually have to fight him. You have to fight his dad. But what I had as my nickname, the pacifist veteran dad. Veteran dad is my level right now because there's dad rank is what they call it. So when you do various mini games or whatever, you get points to upgrade your to level up as a dad. And I'm at level 8 right now, which is veteran dad. I don't know how high you can get, but I had a whole play session where I only threw 2 punches. Well, I only landed 2 punches. Like I did like a whole day of Yakuza with no fighting at all, just because I was all about all the orphanage stuff. So I'm just planting. I'm just making, planting stuff. Oh yeah, you have to put scarecrows by the garden also, so pests don't come and eat your shit, while it's getting grown. And there's like a homework thing where there's like quizzes that's timed, like you have to do math problems really quick, or like social studies. I was really bad at that because I don't know flags. There's a bunch of questions about flags. It's like, which of these flags are not part of the European Union? I'm like, I don't know. But you play it enough times, it'll repeat itself, and you can do it more than once, thankfully, and eventually you'll get through it. But you get points for whatever homework you do for whatever kid. You get more points for their heart meter, and once their heart meter is full, you'll see their entire like side story and all that stuff. But one of my favorite mini games for it is the sewing game, which is basically kind of like a racing game, except you're sewing, and it's kind of really cool. It's like, it shows like the sewing machine. It's a close-up. You can see Kiryu's face. You can see his nails, his fingers and his nails. They look great. And you're basically moving, it's on a sewing machine, and you're following a pattern, and you can change you can basically change your speed, from higher, for faster or slower, and you need to follow the pattern. So it feels like you're basically on a racetrack, kind of like, like Outrun. Because if you fall off of the racetrack, you'll end up hitting yourself with the sewing needle, and you'll bleed on the thing you're trying to make, and there'll be a blood spot on there. So you'll get less points for how good it is because of that. So you got to stay within the lines, but there's also a time limit, and you want to go. So you'll get graded by how well you follow the design, and like how fast you do it. So it is very much like a race of time. And you'll get a grade for it, but it feels like a racing game because each different design is kind of like a more complicated track that you have to follow. Like some of them will have more loop-de-loops and stuff like that, and it's really cool. Like it's probably one of my favorite of the mini games that are on there. But yeah, it's really.
As you're picturing it, I'm kind of sensing like, you remember like RC Pro-Am, that sort of feeling of your racing, and like.
Well, it does kind of feel like it would be like a. Because it looks like, it's not top down. Like it shows you with your hands here, and it kind of shows the track, but it kind of looks more like Outrun. And it'll give you warnings. It'll be like, all right, there's a big right turn coming, so you got to move the sewing thing with that, and it'll be like, all right, there's another left turn. So then you got to do what you can, but it 100% feels like Outrun, but you're sewing stuff.
That's cool.
And this works within like, getting requests for like your neighbors and all that, and you get points and you get money for the orphanage that you can buy, like, you can buy more cows, or like I bought a cat because you start out with a dog, but I bought a cat, but you can buy a monkey. There's another animal you can buy, and there's a whole nother heart meter thing with the animals too, where you talk to them and they'll give you items and you can raise your affection for them also. And there's also a bug hunting game where you run around and catch bugs, and that has its own story where if you beat all the kids, I've beaten all the kids, you get to fight the number one bug hunter. It's like the secret number one, and the number one is the dog, and the dog is really hard to beat. I can't beat the dog, so I was trying to go up against the dog, but the dog is really fast. So, but yeah, no, it's cool. It's got this whole like, I would have bought that just by itself, just the orphanage game. If they would have sold that for like $20, I'm sold, because that's been all I've really been playing. It's all the orphanage stuff because it's really cool. And there's a beach area, and there was one like side story that happens there. Like in almost every Yakuza game, there's one of those like, you can't catch me guys who's like always dodging, and you gotta try to hit him, and he moves really fast. You see that guy again, and he's on the beach, and he's wearing a turtle shell, and you got to beat him with the turtle shell, and then he'll come back, and he's wearing like a bodysuit. And then you got to find one that, and he'll come back and he's wearing nothing. Well, he's wearing underwear, but he's like, I'm wearing nothing, so I'm faster. And then he gets arrested by the police for indecent exposure at the end, which is funny. But that was the 2 times that I landed punches, was doing that game, was doing the dodge game. But aside from that, I wasn't fighting anybody. I was just making the clothes for the kids, and cooking food, and doing the homework and catching bugs, and just watching the stories, all the little mini stories for the kids, and it's a lot of fun. I
think what would be funny is if playing the orphanage stuff in Yakuza is the way that you discover that you really want kids. Like, what if this is the thing?
No. What, for me? No. I can barely afford to live on my own here.
Yeah, I think something's wrong with you if a video game makes you make a major life choice like that.
I don't need kids. I have them in the game. They're great. They're great. They'll stay they'll stay this old forever. At least I'm sure they show up and something happens.
Ever since I played Sims, I want an entire family that I have total control over.
No, I like the ones that are in video games that that don't sneeze on everything and shit, and don't have to clean shit and all that stuff. Or like snot, endless snot factories. And there's another, this, like I said, this game is just a whole lot of mini games. There's another mode where you meet these the Hasai biker girls. They have like a motorcycle gang that you join, and you just basically it kind of feels like a part of like a Musou game. It's kind of like Yakuza Warriors, where you have like areas where you fight big groups of gangs, and you can like recruit new people to your. It kind of reminds me of the Majima construction stuff from Kiwami 2, except that one was like a real-time strategy tower defense thing, which I really don't like. So this was more fun because I'm just running around and punching people. But you can unlock weird weapons, like you can throw chickens at people, and like all these, like you can buy like big crazy weapons, and also you have a motorcycle that you can drive, and you can Akira slide, of course, into the bad guys and knock them down, and you can upgrade your bike to make the damage higher, and you can upgrade your suit. Also, you wear like a big like purple trench coat, which you can change the colors of that and the design, and whatnot, and you can upgrade that. And also from pre-ordering it, I got a Ichiban from Laika Dragon as a character in my bike gang. So when you get to a certain point, he just shows up and joins. Like, even though he probably wouldn't have known Kiryu then, but whatever. Who cares? It's like, here he is. He's like, hi, I'm here. I'm like, all right. And it works similar to the Majima construction, where like when you beat the bosses, they join your team, and there's this whole story like with different other biker gangs all getting oppressed by this one giant gang that you're working up to go fight later. And there's different spots that you have to like defend or claim, like kind of like you would in like a Musou game, kind of like a capture the flag type thing. But yeah, no, I think it's great. I would give it an 8 or a 9 for sure. For so far, because it's all I want to play. But I mean, I knew that because when I was going into it, that I really like it. And I'm not even sure. I don't know who the sex offender guy is yet. I don't think I've run into him yet because I'm not really playing the game or playing the.
There's an actor who's associated with it. Is that what you're saying? It's an act.
Yeah, there's an actor. There's an actor that plays one of the main villains, I guess, in the game, who had some shit, who had had done some things. And people were upset that he had not been fired because of these things. But I mean, they said they're not making any more Kiwami games, so I think he's done after this because his character actually does appear, I think, in 4 or 5. Which I was like, just recast him. I would love to see, because apparently they changed the end of it to be different from the original ending. So I was really hoping they were just going to carry on into 4 and 5, because those ones had such a vast array of like different characters that you played as. I'd be really interested to see like a modern version of that was done better than it was. However fucking long it was. Again, this was a PS3 game originally that came out like 15 some years ago. It's like I'd like to see a new version of it, but no, I recommend it. It's been a lot of fun for me, and this is really what I was looking forward to, was all of the mini game stuff with the kids. So I'm glad that it's been fun, because if it wasn't, then I'd be upset. But it's not. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if I captured it. I'm sure I captured a video of me doing the sewing racing thing. I'll throw it up on the Slack so you can see the way it looks. But no, it's cool. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that's good for that. You guys want to take a break?
Sure.
And we'll say the other stuff. All right. We're going to take a break, and we will be back and talk about whatever else.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and, hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
Puyo Pop on Game Gear on Yakuza is called Puzzlo Kids.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, if it was Mean Bean Machine, I would have remembered it. Because I
know you would have, but that's why
I played that version.
You could remember that.
But yeah, Puzzlo Kids is what it's called. And you can actually play your Game Gear in American or Japanese. You can play the Japanese Game Gear also on here. So I'm just saying, it's a lot of cool shit just for like a little thing in the game, which could be, once again, they could sell that as its own thing too. Like its own little Game Gear NSO thing on here. I was just impressed that it had like rewind and save state. And it's not just like one save state for the whole thing. It's like one for each different game. So
that's cool.
You can actually, if you like playing Game Gear games, which, those games can only have so much, you only get so much entertainment out of them. But I did play Columns for longer than I think I ever had. So whatever. So I did that. But anyway, all right, we're back from the break. What do you got, Jeremy? Or either of you?
Sure.
You guys got other stuff to say other than Virtual Boy?
Do you want to talk about Yakuza some more? Because that's what I've been playing this week as well.
Sure, yeah.
I've been playing Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Probably got 100 hours in that. But,
yeah, I'm at 80 hours. But I got to be careful about what I say because I don't want to run anything for Trey. Whereas you talking about Kiwami 3, I won't be getting into that game for a while probably. So I'll forget everything you said. But also, since this takes place later, there's probably spoilers in it that have been spoiled for me by this game. But
I don't know.
Man, I love this game. I love this game so much. This is one of my favorite RPGs I've played in a long time.
Yeah, I heard it was really good. And do you have like a time limit before you lose your PlayStation Plus, or are you gonna like keep it for as long as you can
happens.
for this game?
I haven't actually checked up on it, but yeah, I would consider buying it. Like, if I had to, but it depends because I'm at 94% complete.
You got to be close if you're like 80.
And I haven't done Kiryu's part yet, so it's the end. I'm on the finale. The chapter's called Finale, and I'm completing all the stuff with Ichiban, and I'm trying to get every side quest, every fucking.
Oh sure, yeah. That's
I got every relationship link. I'm best friends with all the people in my party. There's this thing called the Aloha link, which is you have your cell phone, but when you walk around, you just wave at people, or you do the hang loose thing at them, and then they'll get added to your friend list, and then every time you see them, you do that again, and you build up friends. Yeah, there's 200 friends total. Some of them are animals, and some of them you have to give them items or do a quest for them to increase the or some of them are just shop owners, so you buy stuff for them. But there's different ways to increase the buddy meter, and then you get different bonuses based on it. And I'm thinking about 180 something out of 200 people that I've friended on the island. I don't know if I'm going to try to complete that, because you literally have to run around and find all these people, and I don't know how I feel about that. And there's different times of day too, so you got to like go through the different times of day and see what's changed. But I have gotten like a little more into the mini games this week, and the mini games are awesome. Like this one I just got done playing tonight. I did everything in it, and it's like kind of like supposed to be like Tinder, and you're like talking to people online trying to get a date, and you have to do like these little mini games where you like say the right things to them, and when you send them an emoji, it's like a little wheel that goes by, and you want to make sure you choose the good emoji and not like an emoji that's going to make them dislike you. And basically you have to fill this meter up all the way, and then they'll agree to go on a date with you. And most of them end up being like one of the enemies you fight, and it'll just be like a dude dressed all in bondage gear or something, that even though he's been sending you pictures of like a sexy Japanese girl, and the pictures are real pictures, it's not like in-game stuff. So three of the quests you actually get like a quote unquote sexy video of like a lady kind of walking around saying, "Oh, I'm so glad we're meeting up. I just want you to get to know all of me." And she like lays on a bed and all this, and it's really cheesy.
That's kind of in all of the games. They got weird stuff like that where they use like actual FMV
I was
stuff.
cracking up.
Yeah, there was I think Zero has a mini game where you call like a kind of like a sex line, and you have to like pick different things to say, and you can unlock like videos. And
this is probably just like a new version of that. But
and there's like video places you can go to also and watch videos if you want.
There was this lady that was like on her deathbed, and her husband's he's going around all the snow cone stands in Hawaii trying to get them to give him snow cones without the syrup on it, but they're all pissed off that he wants to order that, and they won't do it for some reason.
Yeah,
because he's trying to because she wants to see snow before she dies.
Oh.
And he's like, "I'm trying to create snow for her," and the way you end up solving that, and whatever, it's not a big deal, but like there's these diaper guys, there's this whole like group of Yakuza guys that like to wear diapers.
Oh yeah, no, they've been around for a long time. I know those guys.
And you find out
they've been around since the beginning.
The filling inside of their diapers is really, really absorbent, but it's like powdery, and it ends up being like the perfect substitute for snow. So they're like ripping up their diapers and throwing the filling outside of her window while she's laying in her deathbed, and she dies happy. Wow. While they're and then at the end of the scene, like the guys are just laying completely buck naked up on the top of the building because they ripped their diapers up completely.
Welcome to the Yakuza world.
There's basically like a Pokemon Snap game where you get in a trolley. You have to take pictures of these guys that are like humping the air, and they're like popping about in bushes and stuff. And like, you got to get good photos of them. They're called sickos. You got to get all the sickos, and each trolley route has like a different Pokemon Snap style like route you'll go on where you're trying to like, and like they're going by on shopping carts and all this random stuff. And it's hilarious. I was laughing so much. Like even just the story stuff, like Ichiban has a pet crawfish that's on his, and her name's Nancy, and she lives on his shoulder, and like.
Oh, I think that was in the other one. I remember having a pet crawfish in Like a Dragon.
Yeah, and she comes from that, and then so she goes to Hawaii with you, and then while you're there, she meets a hermit crab she likes, and you have to like save the hermit crab because some people steal the hermit crab shell, so you have to go like beat him up and get his shell back, and he ends up like joining he ends up joining my like little like the bar where we like it's basically my home base. Now I've got like a crawfish and a hermit crab, and I've got a little baby parrot that I rescued that like was just making a nest out of Ichiban's hair, so you couldn't get it out. Like there's a whole this game's I don't know, they're just the absurdity. But I got all my links up. I went to the hostess clubs a lot, figured out how that worked. Now I'm up. There's like, are there these like dungeons in the other ones where you get like, you go in and you like go to the bottom of the dungeon? Is that another Yakuza games?
Well, I know Like a Dragon had it. The one
that's what this is.
did.
Like both Kiryu and both in Yokohama and in Honolulu, you've got these dungeons that you're just trying to get to the bottom of, very much like a Stardew Valley or whatever. Like lots of dungeon crawling type games where you're just fighting harder and harder enemies, and eventually, I guess, maybe a super boss. I haven't gotten that far yet, but that's how you gain levels is playing those. And I'm at level like 50, and once you're at a certain level, you can just go around and instantly defeat enemies. You don't have to actually like go into the battle screen to fight them. And
that's cool.
So,
they let you do that on Dragon Quest VII also, where it's all taken from Earthbound originally, but where you can just walk up to the character and they'll die if they're level
when I go
lower.
back, once I finish this, I'm going to go back to Like a Dragon, the first one, and try to play through it. But
I figured you would.
From what I can tell, this one just has a way better battle system. Like that's probably why I was like I got so sick of the battle system in the first one, but this one just feels way more dynamic, and you can move your characters around, and and your attacks affect different enemies depending on where you're standing. And then I learned how to like upgrade my weapons and put elements on them, so I'm pretty strong. Like most of my guys can kill most enemies in one hit when I actually go into battle. So
I'm wondering how how high you can get your level. Like what the cap is. Is it like 100
one person in my party's got level 51, but
okay.
It's exponential, so it's getting to where like people aren't leveling up very much anymore. And then there's the whole job system. That's so cool in this, like because you can like learn different jobs and keep the special skills you want.
But they're like real jobs, right? It's not like isn't that? It wasn't that was a joke in Like a Dragon. I mean, they're like jobs that people can actually get. It's not like mage and cleric or whatever. Well,
yeah, I guess so. Like one of them's like break dancer. One of them's like
but I mean they're
club host.
Yeah, they're silly.
Like,
that's like part of it because I remember that was in Like a Dragon also.
And I haven't tried it yet, but there's a whole Pokemon minigame in this called Sujimon, where all the enemies you fight you can like capture and then fight them against each other. There's a whole like Pokemon parody where like there's the Elite Four, but they're called something else, and you got to like defeat all them. And pardon me. And there's like Pokemon or there's Sujimon trainers all over. There's Sujimon stops that you have to run by every day and get items, kind of like Pokestops. And there's a class that I unlocked, a job that I unlocked called Sujimon Master or something like that, where I can actually use my Pokemon as my attacks. Nice. But I haven't messed with that yet. But that sounds like that's going to be fun to play around with. So I have a feeling I'm just going to like be playing this for a while before I see credits, because I want to try to get everything, and I haven't felt compelled to finish the game. I've seen a lot, and like there's some stuff that I want to see what happens. Like Ichiban had a really interesting conversation with somebody, and I want to see what happens from that, and I won't know until I go to the next part. So there are reasons to go forward, but I'm really enjoying these mini games and just going around the city and trying to knock off everything.
Yeah, that's
because
pretty
this game
much.
I just want to squeeze everything out of this. And I did want to say, because I don't think I mentioned last week, the arcade games in this are Bass Fishing, Spike Out, which I think must be kind of like the one you're playing, which is
Slash
like
Out.
Yeah, it's like a beat 'em up 3D beat 'em up game. It's kind of like a 3D Street.
Weird. Oh yeah, I wonder if that's if those are related then. Yeah, maybe
They
it's a
probably
sequel
are.
of the other one or something.
And then Virtua Fighter 3 TB, whatever that is. But it's a Virtua Fighter game, yeah.
Have you
played Virtua Fighter 3 TB? Yeah, I play a little bit of it. It's just like a Virtua Fighter.
Does it feel any different than
I haven't played enough to know. And then of course there's the I love those capsule machines, but I've gotten everything out of them now. So I don't even know. Like the thing I made about the apple juice being the best at the top, that was from a lemonade mission I was doing, where you're like helping this little kid out with his lemonade stand, and you got to give out free lemonade samples to people to increase business. But some people are saying stuff like, if that lemonade guy comes over here, I'm going to kick his ass. And like, you got to know what people not to give lemonade to. And that's one of them was like, all other fruit juices are the devil's piss. So that's how I knew not to give him free lemonade.
Don't do it. It's too sugary.
But yeah, I think a lot of what you said about the other Yakuza games and what I played of this, like, I think other than just the actual style of combat, the structure is very similar, and the world opens up in a very similar way.
I mean, that's how the ones that are. I mean, I like all of them, but yeah, that's the trick is the mini game stuff is so much fun that you like. Mostly what I did with like Kiwami too. I just played all the side stories until I was done with them, and then I went and did the main story. Because You don't really. I mean, the main story is always good, but that's like where the serious stuff is, and then more of the silly stuff comes from the side stories. But those are, if they do it right, like those are just as fun than the regular one. I guess Spike.
There is an orphanage in this, and it is like important to the story, but there's not like any mini games based around it.
Oh yeah, there's no. Is it still?
I think that's the Don't Go Island or whatever, the separate island, which I did get 5 stars in that, and I got you get like an ultimate.
Did you get the boss
attack from that? Yeah, I beat like the boss and everything. So you get like an ultimate attack that you get to use in the main mode that I use all the time. It's a very effective, like hits all the enemies on this kind of an ultimate kind of spell, that works really well. So I'm happy I did that. There's not much reason to go back to Don't Go Island. I don't know what else I need to do there. I guess it's a quick way to make money. Because you can change because it's got a different kind of currency, but you can convert it to dollars before you leave. And I've made like over $1 million in there. But just like you, like when I was playing the Dodoko Island, I didn't do anything else for multiple days.
Yeah.
But you do have to fight bad guys, but it's all real time. They don't do any of the RPG stuff in the Dodoko Island. So it actually even just changes how the battles work. And there's fishing, but it's like spear fishing. And
so it's like what I was doing, like with the whatever.
And then you're actually rebuilding the island. You're trying to
the pitchfork.
Yeah, and there's an actual fishing in the main mode too. Like you can fish with an actual like fishing pole, and there's a whole mini game based on that. I haven't played too much of that, but
yeah, most of all the other Yakuza games have had like the more traditional fishing game where you cast the pole and you hit the button and like tap to roll it in and all that stuff. So that's what I played on the other ones, but the way the fishing works on this is different, and I'm sure it's similar to what it is on.
I'm kind of surprised with how much of a deal they make out of the little segue at the beginning. Like, not a lot's happening with the segue; it's just kind of there. But I thought there'd be like segue-based missions or something.
Yeah, isn't there? I thought there was
a delivery. Not like a race or anything like that.
I thought there was a delivery game that you could do that was similar to Crazy Taxi.
There's a delivery game, but it's on a bicycle.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a mini game where, they give you a bicycle, and that's the only time you have a bicycle is during that mini game. It's a fun mini game though. I like it. It's very much like Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, because I got the Segway too in Kiwami 3, but I don't even use it. I kind of forgot that I had it.
Same. I hardly ever use it because you can just you have to pay, like it's like you're riding a cab, but it's only $10, and now I have like almost $2 million in my.
I mean that's like all the games.
So
all the games.
I have more money than I'll ever need.
Yeah, all the games have that too, where you go to a taxi and it'll take you to different spots in the map. And now on Kiwami, you don't even need to go to a taxi. You can just click on the map and say go here, and then it'll just charge you like 1,000 yen or something.
That's the way this one is too. Yeah. Unless you're inside of a building, you can't do it. But otherwise, if you're outside, you can warp anywhere, which is pretty nice. Well, you can warp to any of the taxi places, and then if you ride the train, that's like a quick warp. That's like a quick warp too, but. I don't ever really use that. The trolley is fun. I like the trolley. That trolley mini game. I'm surprised I discovered it so late in the game because it was very easy at first. It gets harder, but like I obviously was supposed to find this way earlier than I did. I felt like that about some of the other because I've just been knocking out mini games, and some of them like, they all make you fight, and some of the guys are like at level 5. I'm at level 50. It's like okay, this is stupid.
Yeah, from what I saw, 99 is how high you can get for level.
That makes sense. I don't know if there's a new game plus or anything like that. If there is, I will definitely be.
Well, it probably had. Well, from what I did see, I saw somebody post because since I look, I don't know what the internet learned that I got a new Yakuza game because I see like posts all over the place now about Yakuza Kiwami 3. But I saw some stuff about Infinite Wealth where some person was saying. That there was a premium adventure at the end, just like all the other ones have, where you beat the game, but then you still you still get to hang out in the town and do all the mini games and all that. There's just no story anymore. Like that's what I did in Kiwami too. Like
they told me that I couldn't, like once I go to the next part, I can't come back and complete the mini games. It says that to me.
Yeah,
maybe they're lying to me.
It told me that too, but I had already done all the side stories, but I could still go and walk around and play arcade games and poker and whatever else.
Well, maybe I'll.
Because they've all kind of had the premium story thing, and it used to be like that was the only time you could actually change Kiryu's outfit was in the premium adventure. But now I like
Ichiban as a character better than Kiryu, but I haven't been like Kiryu hasn't been like my guy, you know.
But you haven't spent like 7 games
exactly
with him or whatever.
And so another thing
started with him like I did.
That's the other thing. So Kiryu's whole thing is like he's like bucket listing and trying to like figure all this stuff out, and it includes a lot of like cameos from characters like will show up on the island from or wherever he is in Yokohama, wherever he's at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he'll like observe them from afar, but for the most part, they're not supposed to know he's alive. So he's like trying to hide from them, and that's a whole. Yeah, his whole like bucket list thing is probably more satisfying to people that have played the other games, I will say. And Ichiban's just like a himbo, and he's just hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in these games will, they'll show you characters from, it's like a comic book, it's like a soap opera, where they love bringing back guys, and if you read everything, you were like, oh, who's that? But you don't necessarily need to.
The amount of plot
obviously
twists
to
to
know who's who. Like you're playing.
You never know when who's going to betray you in this game. I've learned,
or who's going to come back out of nowhere and be like,
yeah.
Oh wait, I'm not dead. Like that. Yep. That's happened plenty of times too.
I had this really cool battle on a boat, and it was like out in the middle of the ocean, and there were sharks in the ocean trying to like. If you had to like stay away from the edge of the boat, or they like drag you to the water. That was a really fun battle. This is a fun game.
Yeah, I mean that's what always intrigued me about the Yakuza games, even going all the way back to the PlayStation 2 ones, is just how incredibly epic they make the battles. So and they all have that. Every game has a moment. Maybe not necessarily where you're getting attacked by sharks, but there's always some sort of crazy moment where you're fighting on top of a truck that's driving down the street or whatever. It's always got these big high action moments that are really cool.
There is a cool moment where there's this guy that they'd been building up the whole. I don't think I've been running anything because there's so many enemies in this game. But there's this one guy that you fight a few times, and he's like, I'm scared. I wasn't really scared of fighting him again, but I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to fight him again one more time. He's gonna be ultra strong. And then, like in a cutscene, someone just murders him. Straight up murders him. Mm-hmm. So I never have to fight him again. He's just dead. So I didn't expect that. It was one of his accomplices that killed him too. So that that was a little twist.
Oh sure. Yeah, it's they've always been very twisty stories where you never really know where it's going to go.
But yeah, other than that, I did play Laika this week. I bought Laika.
You got it for
$5.
You bought it for the $5.
This game frustrates me a lot. I don't know. I can understand the appeal of it, but man, it's something about the timing of like hitting the bullets back. Like in my head, it makes sense one way, but that doesn't work. And so I have to actually like, I've actually like trained myself to hit the button earlier than I want to. And I don't know, for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel right. And that fact alone has been really frustrating, because if I could reflect those bullets, I would be having a lot more fun with this game, because the actual like platforming or whatever you want to call it, the driving and the ramps and all that are super fun. Mm-hmm. And I love doing the backflip and the front flip to recharge things and like now I have the gun. The gun's really fun. I wish it had more bullets, maybe upgrade it, but the gun's cool. And like all the like really dark imagery, the viscera and stuff that you see early on. It's a very interesting game, and I'll keep trying at it, but it seems like you definitely really, really gotta put your heart into learning these controls, because they're just so bizarre. And once you learn them, I'm sure this game is like playing it's like a ballet, and it could be very satisfying, but it's just very frustrating I've played a bit of it. I'd say I've played at least an hour of it, and a lot of that was just dying, getting shot by the same guy over and over again. But I'd eventually get past him, and there's a lot of checkpoints, so that's nice. But it is kind of funny if you get really far and you get past all these bad guys and you actually do everything right, and then you like aren't paying very good attention when you go up a ramp, and then you just fall on your head and die. Yep. That happens a lot too, where I'm like, God damn it, I got through that part finally, and then I like wasn't paying attention to like land correctly.
Slowly tipped over your bike and
and
squash. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's not really clicking for me yet, but I see the appeal. It definitely feels like the closest thing to the Wario bike game and WarioWare Twisted that I've been able to play.
Where you like, I guess that was in the other ones too, but where you flip. You flip around and land.
You flip and you do get like fire flower in that, so you kind of have a gun in that.
Sure.
Yeah, I felt that after playing it a certain amount of time that it did finally just click for me. it is one of those games that, like, okay, so I haven't played it in a little while, but I know when I go back to it, it's going to be a little bit of a warm-up period. But, there's just certain games that have very specific controls that, like, they click at one point. And this is kind of one of those. There's so much about this game, like, that pulls you forward, like the look of it, and the music is fantastic. And yeah,
I like the game, like the gameplay hook on paper sounds amazing. And I'm sure watching a skilled player play it would be kind of a fun thing. Like maybe I should look up some YouTube videos or something, but when it's me playing it, not so much.
I'm imagining it's probably one of those things that you just gotta play it until it like makes sense, and then once it does, it's really fun. Like I was gonna say, did you have any like tips or things that can help him play it better, John? Since you've played it longer, do you have any strats for Laika that helped you get to the point of understanding the reflecting of the bullets or whatever?
Yeah, like the challenging part comes like when, say, you're shooting up a ramp, and then over the ramp is like 3 or 4 different enemies, and if you don't know the exact order to hit them in, then they're gonna get you.
Yeah. Sometimes like you'll realize, oh, all I gotta do is just like fly over them. They're gonna shoot the bottom of my bike. I'm gonna be okay. But then there might be a guy right off the screen that shoots you right in the face as soon as he comes on screen. So it's like you got to be ready for all that, and you got to be ready to hit those buttons at the right time, which I'm so bad at. Yeah, and I was so good at reflecting the Guardian's beams back at him. Like I'm good at this timing thing. And even in like Yakuza, like it's like Mario RPG where you can block stuff if you like hit buttons at the right time, and I'm really good at that in this game. Even like the first time I'll fight an enemy, it doesn't take me long to figure out where in their animation I need to press the button to block. Mm-hmm. But in this, over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's not working.
It's pretty tight.
Maybe 1 out of 20 times I'll successfully reflect the shot.
I could understand that being irritating and making you not want to play the game anymore.
But I've gotten really good at like going up a ramp and then doing the Akira slide and coming back the other way, because you have to hold down the Y button to like turn your bike around, and so when you go up a ramp, if you want to be facing the other way when you come down, you have to hold the Y button down. And I've gotten really good at that, like all that kind of like technical stuff. It's just the defense part I'm not good at. But I'll give it a little more of a try this week. Maybe I'll play it on the Virtual Boy. Maybe that'll help.
The Virtual Boy.
Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah, play it with the thing on your head, and you can't see anything. It'll definitely help you to reflect bullets or whatever.
I want to see if people are going to start doing that with beat Dark Souls with the Virtual Boy attachment or something.
Yeah. So you can see how many dumb articles are out there about one. Like, what was it I saw on like Polygon or something, was like, if you play Zelda, it's all red. It's like, take the lens off, you dummy.
Yes.
There's already about 20 other videos that said that before you put out that article. Pay attention. Watch the trailer. Did you have anything else other than Virtual Boy that you wanted to say?
I don't think
so.
Go
to the news. Well, the other person, to John. The other person in this show, whatever their name is.
I am the other guy.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really play too many games this week, but I did see a movie, and I saw Send Help.
Is that what you saw with your mom? I was like, you said you went to go see a movie. I was like, what's even out now?
I went to go see that.
Movies since I don't know how long.
That was actually her idea. She wanted to see it.
That's the Sam Raimi movie, right?
Yeah, and it's good. Like, it's a Sam Raimi movie for sure. Like, watching the trailer and stuff, I was like, oh, this is a little different for him. They're like stranded on an island, and the trailer presents itself like Misery. Like, she's the one in charge. She's the one who has all the smarts and all that kind of stuff. It's a Sam Raimi movie. If you like, Evil Dead and all that kind of stuff.
Is Bruce Campbell in it?
He's not in it. No.
No, bogus.
No.
I thought he made an appearance in all of them. He was in the fucking Doctor Strange movie even. Like, I'm surprised he didn't make an appearance in here.
Or maybe he was a background character or something that I didn't notice.
Yeah, I know most of the time
standing behind one of the trees.
Bring him out. It's like, here's Bruce Campbell. No, I heard good things about it. I'll watch it whenever it shows up on streaming.
Yeah, and I don't want to say much about it because it's a movie better watched cold, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Most movies are nowadays.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mom liked it too.
Cool. All right.
That's it for me.
So there was another. All right. So let's get into the news.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
There was a Sony Direct that happened like right after we recorded last week. And I watched it a couple times. I mean, I watched it on the background while I was editing other stuff. Did you check it out at all, Jeremy?
Yeah, I checked it out. I watched it, maybe not in its entirety, but like in pieces, and then I went back to a couple of things I liked a few times, and mostly it seemed like it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think it was pretty. I mean, there's some pretty good looking like PlayStation only stuff like that. Whatever it is, the Kena game or whatever, that game looks really good. Like there's a lot of really good animation.
It's like a sequel too, I guess.
Yeah, that was an early PS5 game, I think. But I mean, or that one with the giant chicken man or whatever, destroying people. That one looks interesting.
Foghorn Leghorn's Revenge. Whatever
it is, yeah. There's some funny stuff on there. But the reason that I mention it is as with all of these directs, there's always a good amount of Nintendo stuff that comes out of it, and I think the stuff that was announced on this one is definitely worth talking about. Especially Castlevania, a sequel to Castlevania was announced that is actually being done by the people who did Dead Cells, which is cool because they actually already did a Dead Cells Castlevania thing that's on Switch now that you can get. So they're already within the world, and we haven't seen a new Castlevania since when? Like, what, the 3DS game? Or the PlayStation 3 one or whatever? When was the last new Castlevania we had? Like, that wasn't a collection. It's been a very long time. So it's nice to see that Castlevania is coming back. They just announced the price of it like minutes before we started this podcast. It's coming out for $40, but yeah, it's called Castlevania Belmont's Curse, and I don't know, I'm interested in it. Apparently,
me too.
I don't know. I mean, I know you really like Castlevania. Those guys are really good at doing roguelike stuff, and you like that as well. And they also did the Rogue Prince of Persia game, which is supposedly pretty good, that just came out. But yeah, yay, more Castlevania. And Konami said that there should be more things coming around since Castlevania has its 40th anniversary, like many other games. Right. So,
the AI says that the last mainline title was Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 in 2014.
Yeah, and that was like a PS3 game, I think.
Yep. And before that, the last 2D Metroidvania title was Order of Ecclesia.
Well, there was the 2D 3DS one also. That was within the world of that last one that you said. It was done by the same guys who did Metroid Dread before Metroid Dread. And I thought maybe that was the last one that came out, because that one definitely came out much longer after Order of Ecclesia. But it's something of it's like something of Shadow. It's like the same. It's like it goes along with those two other PS3 games that came out. But yeah. Anyway, cool. More Castlevania. Let's see what else. Metal Gear Solid Collection Volume 2, which was something that was rumored before, but it is officially coming out, and I'm buying it 100% because guess what? It's on there. They didn't even say it in the trailer. You had to look in the fine print, but the fucking Game Boy Color game is on this collection. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly, because they didn't say it at all in the trailer. Like I said, you had to read the fine print to find it, but no, it is in there. And
that's awesome.
The only reason I knew is I saw somebody comment that Ghost Babel was in there. I was like, really? No fucking way. And then I looked. Yeah, small print on the side says Extra Games Ghost Babel, and I was like, fuck, because I had that game and I loved it, and I fucking lost it before I beat it, so I never got to get all the way through. And it's really good. It's like
it's really expensive.
It's very expensive, and it is like a very good Metal Gear Solid Game Boy Color game. And I'm really happy to see it on there. Plus, Metal Gear Solid 4 has been like stranded on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 for however long, which I did actually play through it. It was one of the first games I bought when I bought a PS3. But I mean, I'd like to go back and play it again because I thought it was interesting. People have different feelings about it, but I did really like it a lot when I played it, and it'd be fun to return to it. And also, what's the other one? It's not Portable Ops, but what's the PlayStation Portable game that's on there? It's on the tip of my tongue here. The other one,
the card one?
No, it's not that one. It's
Substance?
Peace Walker.
Peace Walker.
It's also Peace Walker is on there, which I think was the final PlayStation Portable game. But it was really good. Like, I played it. There was a collection. No, wait. I think I bought it straight up and played it on my PSP. But I did play it, and it was quite impressive for a PlayStation Portable game. And it basically continues the story of the original like Snake, the Snake from 3, the original like whatever regular boss or whatever they call him. It's that guy, but you recruit people for your party, and it was really cool. So yeah, I'm into this. I'd like to play it, and also it wasn't in the Sony. It wasn't in the Sony State of Play, but right off the heels of this, we got a Switch 2 update for the Metal Gear Solid collection, where you can finally play Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 in 60 FPS. So hooray!
That's very nice.
And a higher resolution also, I believe. So maybe I should re-download those games because I've deleted all of them to make more space for my Switch 2. But John and I have the collection. We can play them. So
play it sometime. I should play it sometime.
I'll probably get it eventually.
Yeah, I played all the way through Metal Gear Solid 1 when I got that, and I had a great time doing it. And then I played a little bit of 3, and I was like, I'm going to play through 2, and I just didn't. I didn't even make it past the Snake stuff. I didn't even make it to the right-end things or whatever. But now it makes me want to go back through it because it's got higher frame rate and all that. So cool. Rayman 30th Anniversary Edition. This one is like a Digital Eclipse game, right? I believe. It's out now. It came out out now. Came out like on the same day as the Direct. But what's interesting about this game, it's Digital Eclipse. The interesting about it is that it's Rayman 1, but it's Rayman 1 on a bunch of different systems, and every Rayman version of Rayman is very, very different. Like, they look completely different, the sounds are completely different. So each version you play is its own game, and I think that's interesting in what it is. I already got it Rayman 2 on 64, which we talked about before. I really like that game, but I'm intrigued by this one just because every like port is completely different from the last one, even coming down to like the graphics, the way the graphics look and all that. So I find that interesting. So maybe I'll check it out when it's on sale later. Let's see. Darwin's Paradox, which was actually originally announced on another Sony State of Play. This is the one with the octopus guy that changes their color or whatever. It's a cinematic platformer. It's one of John's favorite things. There's a demo out now. It was announced in the State of Play. You can play it on the Switch as of right now. I have it downloaded, but I did not open it yet. But I do have it. So
octopuses are also one of my favorite things. So this is a great combination for me.
Nice. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, we got that came out of there as well. It showed more footage. There's another like Legacy of Kain game coming out, Ascendance, which is a 2D Legacy of Kain game.
It's a remaster of the.
Is it? Well, it said, because there was a remaster on there, but there was also a new one.
Oh, okay.
Because this one says a fast 2D retro action platformer built around vertical movement.
I remember these two. There was two different.
Yeah, because I remember because I was like, maybe are we not getting the other remasters? Because I didn't see anything say that it was coming to Switch also, but I don't know why it wouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. More Legacy of Kain stuff that's coming out at the end of March. Darwin's Paradox is April 2nd. Castlevania doesn't have a release date yet. I said Rayman's already out, and Metal Gear Solid is the 7th of August, right? That's 8, yeah. August 7th. And however you pronounce this, Brigandine Abyss, it's like a strategy game. I won't play it, but it was announced on Sony State of Play, and it's on Switch too, coming whenever. But we got to see more footage of Pragmata. It showed like an abandoned world with like mannequins wearing clothes and all this stuff, and like cars buried in the ground. I'm very excited about this game. It's nice to see more stuff for it. So we get to see more of that. Also, Resident Evil 9. I really felt like they were trying to outdo Nintendo with this because they're like, hey, Nintendo's afraid to show blood. You know what? We're not. We're going to show exploding heads everywhere in this trailer. And it was like exploding head after exploding head after exploding head. And I was like, yeah, I think this was kind of intentional since the Switch Direct was like, I can't hit anybody because we can't show blood, but it looks great. I mean, the PlayStation 1 looks super smooth, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this game when it comes out, but I love to hear what you say about it, Jeremy, if you end up getting it. I know some other people who have been on our show before who are planning on getting it, so maybe we'll get a guest on to talk about it. But as of right now, I can't afford it, unfortunately. But hopefully something will happen.
I don't think I can afford it either.
Well, I'll have money too, because I really do want to play it, but I'm going to have to skip on it, So, whatever. But yeah, more of that. We saw another trailer of First Light. of 007. I still really don't like the way Bond looks, but I'm sure it'll be good because Hitman's good, right? Did you watch any of the new stuff, John? Probably not.
Yeah,
I watched the new one. Yeah, they're gonna knock it out of the park, I think.
No, they'll do fine. I just don't like the way he looks, the way the character looks. What did you think, Jeremy, from what you saw of it?
I mean, yeah, I don't have any sort of like, I don't hold any kind of a Bond thing sacred. So I guess to me, I guess to me, it just doesn't really look like what I would expect a Bond game to look at because what I'm used to Bond games looking like, I guess. So it looks like a cool action game, but it doesn't look like a Bond game.
Well, it doesn't look like like GoldenEye or whatever. Some of those other ones from GameCube and 64.
Put the dude in a tuxedo, maybe I'd feel different. Maybe that's all it is. But
I think since it's supposed to be like an origin story, I think that's what's kind of weird to me that he's like so young. Yeah. Also, like you know, like you know, in the books he had a scar and all that, and now he has a scar, but it doesn't make sense for a spy to have a scar because that is something that makes you too recognizable when you're trying to be other people. You will always see the scar. Like
tell that to people in the Yakuza game.
I'm just saying, like, if you're an undercover person needs to dress up like other people and you have a fucking scar across your face, everyone is going to know who you are. They're not going to be fooled. You know, I'm just saying it's not going to work for your career here, Bond. Maybe that's why they got rid of it because it's, you know, it's like having a face tattoo. Like anyone's going to recognize you anywhere.
Maybe Bond just puts makeup on now, like he still has it.
I guess. Well, I mean, he never had it in any of the movies, but I mean, I understand. I'm just saying it's not a great thing to have if you want to work undercover. Mm-hmm. Mina the Hollower, we got to see more footage of that, and now it has a quote-unquote sort of release date.
So they saved this for the PlayStation instead of the Nintendo Direct. That's kind of mean.
Some more Mina the Hollower stuff, right? Now they're saying it's coming out this year and not 2030. So
in spring.
Good.
Yeah, I want to know what happened in the development cycle. They knocked 4 years off their development. That was pretty good.
They discovered a new chip or something.
Well, they added 5 years and then they knocked 4 years off because originally it was supposed to come out last year and then it went to 30. You know, I think they did that just because they're like, oh, whatever, just put a number down. You know, but you know, I mean, it still looks cool. And yeah, having more PlayStation stuff on there. But I think that was it. But I mean, like I said, these are always worth watching, and there's some pretty cool other like non-Nintendo stuff that I was like, oh, that looks cool. It was like kind of like a Tenchu type game on there that I thought looked cool.
I thought it was Tenchu. Yeah. I was like, it's Tenchu. Nope, it's not Tenchu.
So yeah, there was some. Oh, and that what was it? The new Remedy game looked kind of cool. The Control, whatever the Control knockoff, where you have all the where you can switch the gravity and you're like walking on the side of buildings. I
thought it was Control. I thought it was like a Control.
It is Control, but it's a different character or whatever. I mean, the gameplay is completely different than the other game, but it's still within the same universe. But it's like her brother or something like that. I don't know. But the gameplay on it looks
His
incredible.
name is Alt-Delete.
Yep. Next, and that's how you go. That's how you I mean, the lady's name wasn't Control. I think her name was Alex. But anyway, yeah, that was that. It was like I said, I put it on the background a couple times. It was worth watching. There's some cool stuff in there. But releases for this week, Caves of Cud finally coming out. That's that game that looked like
a game for cows.
It looked like a really old like PC game, but I think it's one of those like main sicko games that people just really really get into. But I won't get it, but I'd like to hear people talk about it. It sounds cool from what I've heard. Star Trek.
You're gonna get the Star Trek game?
No, I'm not getting anything because I don't have any money. But
I mean, eventually.
Well, maybe. I tried playing
this gives us a chance to find out like if it's worth buying though. If we can't afford it right away, then maybe we'll save $40 if it's a shitty game.
Yeah, I mean, I played the demo. There's a demo out, and the demo was, as I said last week, the font is really tiny and there was no voiceover, so I had a really hard time figuring out what was going on. And actually, what I've heard, it's real difficult. Like the game's pretty hard. So, but I guess if you're super into Star Trek, you might like it. I don't know. I'm still really interested in it, but they got to do something to make it to at least make it easier for us old Star Trek fans to be able to read it because this is a fucking 90s show here that you're making a game of. Like,
this isn't the future where everyone gets LASIK from. Never mind, I'm done.
You mean like when you wear a silver hair clips over your face and it somehow helps your eyesight, like Geordie LaForge. Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, I'm really interested in it, but we'll see. We'll see what the release is on that, because that's coming out for $40, and there's like a deluxe version too. Gear Club Unlimited is coming out. It's another racing game, but it looks good. You know, I like to see these switch to only racing games, because racing games can really be a good way to show off the strength of your system, and I'm really into racing games, and I think this one looks all right, even though I think the whatever Grid Legends is better, the one that came out before that. The big one that I was planning on getting if I had more money was Ease 10, Proud Nordics, and I didn't see Nintendo Life's review, but I did watch Noisy Pixel's video review earlier, and they gave it a perfect score. They gave it a 10 out of 10. They said it was incredible, and that all of the additional stuff that they added to it was like really did a lot to enhance the game. And the reason that you can't carry on your save into the new one is that a lot of the new things are worked into the story. So, so you would have to.
So they remade the game from the ground up.
Well, no, not necessarily, but they've added new things, and I guess they kind of just like smoothed it out. It's like this is the Persona 5 Royal, or like, Persona 3 Fez, or like where they did like the same thing with Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, where you do like a new version that like fixes everything, or just makes it a bigger, meatier thing, or whatever. It's like that. But it's $70 for a game that I already have. But apparently it plays great, and all of the added stuff works really well, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I really want to beat this game because it was like my game of the year, but I just don't want to play it again, especially if I'm planning on starting it again. And, I don't know. These games go on sale. I'll get it at some point, but it's coming out this week. And apparently, people like it. So, hooray. It's just kind of like, if you're... It kind of sucks when you like buy a game on the first day when it comes out, and then like a few weeks later you find out that they're making another version of it like 2 years down the road. Like that was kind of a slap in the face to me, being the early adopter. I even bought the deluxe version and all that, but
you did.
They should at least give you a discount if you already bought the other one. This one I put on here because it reminded me of you. Actually, these last two games are Total John games, but there's a Lost in Space. Like the old fucking sci-fi adventure game, Lost in Space, First Adventure, and it's a point-and-click game. It's coming out for $10 this week.
Is this a new game or a re-release of an old game?
I think it's new. I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure that out from what I could find on the eShop, but it didn't say... I don't know. It didn't really say that it was remade or not, but it didn't look old necessarily, from looking at the graphics, from what I saw. But, I thought it looked interesting. I don't know how much people care about that show. I used to watch it on MeTV, when I watched like Antenna TV and all that, because it would be on like Saturday nights before Svengoolie. But I mean, I don't know. It kind of actually the graphics of it does kind of look like an old. It totally reminds me of an old school LucasArts point and click game.
Is it the one that Danger Will Robinson is from?
That's the one.
Yeah, the robot.
Okay. See, I get this confused with Land of the Lost, even though they're so different.
Because they both got lost in the name.
But it's like families. Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Yeah,
it's like families getting lost in some sort of very different
sci-fi
environment.
World.
Yeah. I just thought it was kind of interesting because we got two sci-fi shows from like the same time. Well, I mean, Star Trek Voyager is not from the same time, but Star Trek starting in the 60s. I think Lost in Space was around that time too. So. Same week. It just like, I was like, oh, wow, okay. I didn't know that was coming
out. It had to have been where Muppets in Space parody came from.
Probably. There's that. And the other, what's the other one I have? Oh, yeah, and Paranormacite, The Mermaid's Curse, which I saw that was getting reviewed really well, too. And I think Paranormacite 1 is still $5 for like the next like 2 hours or something. But, I mean, those are point-and-click adventure mystery games, like whodunit type things, and people really like those games. So I've heard nothing but great things from either of those. And we're getting the sequel that was announced in the Direct a couple weeks ago. As of right now, probably. It's probably out right now. So there you go. Anything else you want to say on here for news?
Yeah, for news. How about this one? I know you want to say this. Nintendo Switch, the news section has used the Doomslayer render from Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah, I guess it's because of, isn't it because of like a Bethesda sale or something like that, and they stuck it on there? I think it's kind of a mess up. I don't think it really is. I think it's just kind of like a lazy thing. Maybe they just needed a quick picture of Doom guy, and they just threw it on there,
Probably
not caring which one it was.
So is this like a Doom guy from a unreleased one or one?
So the Doom guy that's in there is the way that the Doom guy would look in Doom: The Dark Ages, which is the game that I want to be on Switch 2, which was a PlayStation 5 only game.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, so that's the big thing. It's like, oh, well, that game's not on there. Does that mean it might come out? I think maybe they just weren't paying attention, and maybe they just grabbed a picture, and maybe they didn't know like what it was from. They're just like,
I didn't know it's an IGN watermark on it.
Yeah, but give me hope or whatever. Let's do that. Give me that Hawkeye gif, or it says, "Don't give me hope."
The developer of Ori showed off their next game, which is called No Rest for the Wicked, running on Switch 2. Now, just to be clear, this is not they were not announcing that it's on Switch 2. They were just kind of giving you an inside look, like, "Hey, we're trying this out." Not a guarantee, not an announcement or anything, but I mean, it does show that they're interested in doing that. So cool. I'm looking forward to that if that's coming to Switch 2. I want to see what they're doing next.
I haven't even heard of this game or what it is. Is it like another Metroidvania type thing, like Ori? Or
I remember we mentioned it way back when, at least over a year ago, but I think it's an RPG.
It says action. Oh, this says isometric action RPG, which it may not. We'll see how much RPG it actually is. People like to throw that term around a lot, but I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm sure it's probably not that graphically intense. It can probably be on Switch too. I did want to mention this Goodnight Universe update just because that was the baby game, but apparently it's a baby game because there's a baby in it that you play as. But the PC version uses the camera on the PC to read your face while you're playing it, and like the baby will react in different ways. And this was taken out of the Switch 2 version, but now I guess you can do it if you got the camera or whatever. So cool. I mean, that's an interesting thing that I've never really heard of from other games. So can read your face. About that. No, you don't want it to watch you while you're watching it.
There's that game I always wanted to play on Steam where you play it by blinking your eyes, and I think it does the same thing. Like it uses the webcam, so maybe it's similar to that. But I don't actually reading my facial expression. It's kind of scary.
You just have to play with a giant smile the whole time, otherwise the baby will die.
Yeah,
or something.
And if you sneeze, the baby starts crying.
There's even a little like drawing here showing you. It's like, here, put your Switch on a thing, put your camera behind it, and this is how you. I mean, you could play it on a TV and do the same thing, but it has a little like instruction picture here showing you. Oh, it's like, oh, you got to be this close to the camera also for it to read your features. Yeah, so they're really doing it. So good for them.
I don't know why they didn't just put a camera on the Switch, like front-facing camera.
Right, like put it in the at money. I would believe that would make it more expensive. I guess they'd rather you just pay an extra like $100 or how much was that thing that I bought that I don't use at all?
$50.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, can't even get it. Can't even get it to work with my computer for whatever reason.
Unfortunately, we're losing the Jurassic Park Classic Games collection. That one's getting delisted.
You guys didn't buy that one?
I haven't bought it yet. No,
I did. I bought it. I have it. I bought it a while ago. Well, it was on sale. It was like really on sale, and I really like that Super Nintendo game. I played it a lot in high school. So
yeah,
I got it for that.
Thinking, I think I want to get it, but I'm going to wait and see if it goes on sale, as a last hurrah or whatever before it gets delisted on March 31st.
I bought the Bill and Ted collection before that was delisted, and I didn't play that.
Yeah.
Well, I played it on NES when I was a kid, and I thought it was awful, but I just got it because it was getting delisted.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they give it a good discount. What the hell? Why not?
I'm sure they will when it gets closer to the release date.
But this was not out that long. I don't know when it came out, but I feel like it was about maybe 2 years ago at most.
Something like that. Yeah.
But it's just a rights thing, of course. Jurassic Park and all that.
Probably it came out around the time because Jess and I we just watched all the Jurassic Park movies just because I'd only seen the first one, and we just kind of did like where we just watched whatever ones were out, and it was around that time because I was like, oh, am I gonna want to buy this because of these movies? And I'm like, well, no, because I only like 2 of them out of the 6 of them or whatever. But yeah,
I remember liking the Super Nintendo game and the Genesis game, and I never played the second Genesis game, but I've heard it's pretty decent.
I played both of them. I like the Super Nintendo one because it had its own like little Doom mode in there. It has like as a first-person shooter thing, and I played a lot of that.
I remember being impressed by that at the time.
It was really cool. It was as well as you could play first-person shooters on Super Nintendo, but you could strafe with like the L and R buttons and move, and I played the crap out of it. It was one of those things that I like I own it now, but I mean, I just rented it over and over again and never just bought it. I just kept just renting it and playing it, So it was one of those things where it's like, you dummy, you should have just fucking bought it instead of spending over the amount it would have cost to buy it, like to rent it every week, But the money you have at the time is like you only have enough money to rent it, so just rent it every week.
This one's cool for us Nintendo fans. Dolphin can now emulate Triforce, which was the GameCube-based arcade hardware. So yes, you can now run the F-Zero game on your computer.
Probably the Namco Mario Karts too.
Probably too, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I actually have Dolphin on my computer now that I have a newer one. I did get the Dolphin emulator because I was just trying to fuck around with it when I was playing stuff for Mike's show for games my mom found, but it didn't work very well. I was trying to download a game for it, and it was real glitchy. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it depends game to game, I guess. But what I played of the Dolphin, it didn't work very well.
I had the same experience when I played Captain Rainbow because there was a streak there where I got it to work every time, and I played a good, I think, probably 5 hours of that game, and then I couldn't get it to work anymore. So I'd like to go give that a try again, especially now with this news of the Triforce and all that stuff. That's cool
for sure. There's something I got to mention before I forget about it because we got an email about it from the company, but. They're actually making a new Nitro Deck-esque type holder for Switch 2. I got the Nitro Deck for Jess for Switch 1, and they liked it a lot. It works really well. It actually plugs into the bottom of the system, so it works. So it's much more responsive than the Joy-Cons are even. So I was really impressed by it when I played it. But what's the It was in.
It's called the. I'm going to mispronounce his name.
Yeah,
Absolute.
Yeah, Abixalute.
It's spelled ABXYLUTE. I'm going to say Absolute.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, company.
So anyway, yeah, they're coming out with two different Nitro Deck type things. It's called it's like the N6 and hold on, it's on the Kickstarter. It's
N9C.
The N9C and the N6, and it's basically. One of them looks like a regular Nitro Deck, same thing. We slide it in and it like connects to the system, no delay and all that. But the other one is like a GameCube, is basically with the GameCube buttons and all that sort of thing, more setup for for what you'd want to do with the Nintendo Switch Online.
It's GameCube Joy-Con.
Yeah, well, it's basically the Nitro Deck, but with the GameCube setup. So you got, it has the C stick and it has the buttons set up the right way. Where you have the AB, they're the places where they would be in the GameCube. And it's on the Kickstarter, and it's actually already reached its goal. Like, its goal was 4,000, and they're at almost 20,000 now. So, looks like people are interested in it. But yeah, no, I mean, send me one. I will, I will totally play it, But I'm actually in the, I am in the market for a Nitro Deck type thing to get at some point for the Switch 2 because I really liked how well the other one worked. And it just felt better for handheld. So, let's try it out.
Send 3 if you can. That'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it says Absolute Comfort. So I think the Absolute name is supposed to be a play on that, but it's like Absolute or something. I don't know. Or Absolute with an X. I think is how you pronounce it. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for telling us about it early. And yeah, everybody go check it out on the Kickstarter. I can put a link on it on the details and all that stuff.
So this is some disappointing news. We all remember that there was a Last Ronin movie in development that got canceled, right? So the actress who played April O'Neil in the original Ninja Turtles movie, she came out this week and said that she was signed on to return for that Last Ronin movie. That would have been so fucking cool, to have
from Ninja Turtles 1 or 2.
From number 1.
There's 2 different ones, right?
The original person, yeah. That would have been amazing. Like to see her come back and, a little bit, weathered and worn in a serious R-rated movie, a little bit older and wiser and all that. That would have been fantastic. And that would have meant that probably we would have got Casey Jones back as well. The actor's name is Elias Koteas. He would have come back, I'm sure. What a cool movie that could have been, would have been, should have been, and still should be. Like, let's get noisy about this. Make this thing happen.
But instead, they are making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed pizza places in California. So that's what we get. And also, they're making a Last Ronin novel based on the comic with less,
without the drawings. Yeah,
yeah, with less pictures. Like,
yeah,
who's that for?
Descriptive imagery.
Like, I don't understand who that's for, but yeah, whatever. It would have been. It would have. It would have been cool to see. Isn't there supposed to still be a game about Last Ronin?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I
heard the game was not canceled.
Yeah, so that'd probably be better than the movie will ever be anyway. So, I mean.
Probably so. But, man, I still want to see that movie. Like, I think the plan was to put them in rubber suits and everything again. And that would have been just, so cool.
Just kind of add to the age of it or something. Make them look even older if you try to do it like, well, I mean, I think most of those rubber suits are disintegrated by now, but you could make new ones that look like.
Sure.
So I've seen pictures of those old ones. They look scary.
So the movie was canceled because, I mean, Paramount was bought by Skydance, and I'm sure it's somebody up at the top who's out of touch said, "Oh, Ninja Turtles is just for kids." That's my theory, and I'm sure that's exactly right. Make
some pizza places for it, and 10 other cartoons, because they are still making a bunch of shit. They're just not making that movie.
Hey, you can have a property that has different, levels of access points. See, like how Marvel does. Marvel has stuff that's just for preschoolers, and then stuff that's for everybody else. And then they have Deadpool that's R-rated, and they all make money. Like, do that with Ninja Turtles. That'd be cool. Let's see this movie. Make it happen. I still have hope. Make it happen, please.
Have you guys, speaking of Marvel, any of you seen Wonder Man, the Wonder Man series?
I keep hearing it's great. You need to watch it.
It's fucking awesome. Just and I watched it in 2 days, like when it came out a month ago or something. But it was really good. It's really, really good. It's great. It's on.
I started watching the Watchmen show on HBO. I've never seen
that show is so good too.
I'm liking it so far. I'm in episode 4 I'm about to start.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, that show was so good. Like, there's once you get to it, there's a flashback episode where she takes this, they call it a nostalgia pill or something like that. But yeah, no, that show was so fucking good. Like that, it totally blew me away. And it's only one season, but it was fucking brilliant. Like I thought,
kind of like how it all starts with the Tulsa race riots is an interesting thing to base a superhero movie or superhero series on.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there was what was the
or not riots? It was a massacre.
I would say what was the Tulsa was the place where everybody got killed because they did
Black Wall Street. Yeah,
it was that same year. It was that show and the other one we just talked about, the fucking the books that you were reading or listening to, Jeremy, the sci-fi books that are super racist. Yeah. What the fuck is his name?
Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraft County. So Lovecraft County and this show came out in the same year, and they both had huge parts about the Tulsa massacre in there. So it was HBO really wants you to know about that, and they were both done really, really well. So I recommend watching that after you watch this one because they're both on HBO Max and they're both very good.
Sure. HBO Max is one of those ones that as long as I have my phone through my current company, I'll keep getting it because they own HBO and I get it for free.
That's pretty much I get Disney Plus for free through Verizon. So, well, I pay for it, but it's included in my plan or whatever. So, I mean, that's kind of.
I don't pay for HBO.
So, I mean,
it's I'm always at one of those fancy hotels.
Yeah, I mean, I pay them, and I get it because I pay them, so I'm still paying something.
Guess so.
But yeah, no, that Watchmen show was really good. So that's cool that you're watching it. It really blew me away when it came out. And I think I've asked both of you to watch it before, but I'm glad you're finally getting around to it. Yeah, there's some heavy stuff in there.
I just get in moods where I'm watching a lot of shows and movies and stuff, and I've been in one of those moods lately.
Yeah, and the one guy, I
watched Scanners. Scanners is good.
Oh, the Cronenberg movie? Yeah. I've seen that.
So
yeah. where the head blows up. Yeah, we watched. Jess and I were on like a Cronenberg kick, and we watched a bunch of. Well, I mean, Cronenberg's awesome anyway, but he was also in Star Trek Discovery. He was a character on the new Star Trek for a while.
I think I heard that.
Cronenberg was, yeah. I think he ended up being like he ended up being a version of a character from the old show or whatever. Like they made him. His character became more important as the show went on. Anyway, is there anything left?
Yeah. So real quick, we had some notable people pass away.
Yeah. As
Hideki
they do.
Sato, who is the father of Sega hardware, so basically the main engineer behind all the hardware we know.
The Dreamcast
Genesis,
too, right?
Everything,
Even,
yeah.
or like the Mega Drive and yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. We've been talking about Sega games a lot this episode.
Yeah. So thank you for everything you did for us with Sega hardware. We appreciate it, and to say the least. And Shitaro Ida, who, relevant to today's news, was the developer behind the classic Castlevania games on the Game Boy Advance, DS, and as well as the director of Bloodstained.
Wow.
Passed away.
That's a big loss.
Wait, that's but that's not Iga, right?
No, it's not Iga.
It's the main guy, but it's one of Bloodstained even. Dang.
But he's been but he's been on all those things.
Yeah.
Shit.
Not video game related, but man, fucking Tom Noonan died. Do you guys know who Tom Noonan is? He's an actor. He was in a lot of horror movies. Did you ever watch Monster Squad, the one with the kids? You never watched Monster Squad?
I think I've never seen that movie.
Wow, what's wrong with you guys? That movie's much better than Goonies. That was my Goonies, was Monster Squad. That movie's fucking awesome.
I didn't even know that movie existed until I got to college and film school, and everybody
told you how great it was.
Somebody brought up Monster Squad in class, and everyone else was like, "Yeah, whoa, Monster Squad." I had no idea.
I watched Monster Squad all the time when I was a kid. Like I said, I think it's better than Goonies, but no, it's basically a group of kids, but they get to fight all the Universal monsters, and Tom Noonan plays Frankenstein's monster in there, which is like my favorite, of the classic monsters. So he was in that, but also one of the greatest X-Files episodes of all time, Paper Hearts. He's the main bad guy in that one, which was written by Vince Gilligan. Also, he was in the very first of the Silence of the Lamb movies, Michael Mann's Manhunter. He played the character, the not Hannibal, but the other one, which they later made a shitty movie called Red Dragon about that. Yep. But the original good one, he was in that one. I said, look him up. He was in a lot of things, but you recognize him when you see him. But I always loved him as an actor, and he died on Valentine's Day. He just died, and I was like, fuck, I love that guy. Now anytime I saw him in anything, I just knew it was good. It was going to be good, So he's one of those people. Like what was it? Like Brian Paxton, he's dead too. But every time I saw him in anything, I knew it'd be great. Or Bill Paxton, yeah, not Brian. Yeah. Bill Paxton. But anyway, I was mixing him up with the other guy who's still alive, who was on Independence Day. Phil Pullman. But anyway, yeah, people are dying all the time. It sucks, constantly.
It does.
We're at that age where all of our actor heroes are all just dropping off the face of the earth, and it sucks.
Video game heroes too.
I don't like it. Yeah, video game heroes, actor heroes. I still haven't gotten over Catherine O'Hara dying. I mean, that was a while ago, but fuck.
Yeah, I just watched what's it called?
Schitt's Creek.
No, the Wind, Mighty Wind.
Yeah.
We've been watching through Schitt's Creek again.
Yeah. Well, they put that on every streaming service right after she died, or at least they were advertising it everywhere.
And Waiting for Guffman as well.
Yeah, she was on a bunch of those. Was it Christopher Guest that did all those movies? Yeah. She was in a lot of those.
Best in Show.
And we had just watched her on the studio on Apple Plus. She was she was going to be in season 2, so it was like I just saw her. No, she was fine, but no, I guess not. And she'll always be my favorite mom from Beetlejuice. So. Because she made those amazing statues, the amazing sculptures that kill her. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They turn them into creatures. I loved her. Then in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, she was great in everything. She always brought it up a little bit. Whatever project she was in, it was like, oh, she's in that. Yeah. So rest in peace.
Yeah, I think she was in After Hours, too. There's another, because Terry Garr was in that, too, and she just died. So another cast member for After Hours just died. Really, really... Really good Scorsese movie.
Yeah, so the last thing I wanted to mention was just give another push to the Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum GoFundMe, which appeared on the local news here in Detroit. If you want to see what the new place kind of looks like in its current state, you can look on YouTube on the channel Click on Detroit, which is channel 4 here in Detroit. And they did a little news segment there where they showed the new spot, which looks much, much bigger. I heard it was 5 times bigger. And currently they've just got a bunch of the machines sort of parked here and there. It doesn't look, finished at all, but they're working on it. And then regarding the GoFundMe, it's currently at $26,077 raised of $30,000. There's no date that I can find on here. I think that they beat their original goal, and so I think this just like keeps going. They're just like set benchmarks that they want to reach without any specific due date, I think. But you could be the one to push it over the edge. I mean, they're so close. They're less than $4,000 to hitting their $30,000 goal. So just consider going to GoFundMe and looking up Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. You won't regret it. This place is amazing and deserves the support of all us video game fans.
For sure. Check it out.
I want to get our buddy Nate there. If he has never been before, he's got to go.
Hey, he's in like New York or something, right? He's kind of a ways, but no, we could
Buffalo, yeah.
We could probably get him to check it out. Make it part of his Midwest Gaming Classic tour or something.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know about it. Like, if you look up videos of it on YouTube, you can see certain notable YouTube people showing up there and doing a little tour or whatever. So it's a pretty well known place, and it's been around for a long time, and hopefully this is just the start of a whole long time more. I'm really wanting to go back there again. It would be cool, when it opens, if you guys could come down for a weekend and we could all go to Marvin's. That'd be pretty sweet.
Sure. But I think that's good for this episode. That's all of our news and everything else. And thanks everybody for listening. You can support us at patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and get 80 plus extra episodes. Not to mention the WART radio, which is a playlist of all the music, the intros and outros you can listen to, plus early videos of us at the $5 level. Check that out there. Plus, I think there's you can get some merch and stuff for higher levels than that sent to you. So go check that out. And you can find us all over the internet, social media. Just look up NintenDomain Podcast. And check out that video on YouTube of us talking about our Virtual Boys early or whatever. So you can check that on there. And this has been episode 508. And we're your hosts, or we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jerry Mikowski.
John Nitter.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya, Nora.
See you, Nora. Like sayonara.
Bye, Nora.
Bye, Nora. Get out of here. Get out. The Castlevania game that I was trying to think of was Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate, which came out in 2013.
You should have remembered that.
On 3DS. But it was made by the guys who did Metroid Dread and the remake of Samus Returns.
Cool.
That was the last of the 2D Castlevania games that came out.